Hello, and welcome to Halls of the Undermountain King. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Liz, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. We are thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. For those who are new to Dungeons and Dragons, everyone here plays fantasy characters in a fantasy universe. The 5 players each have their own unique character with sheets that tell them who they are, what they can do, their deepest secrets, and what dice to roll. They will mostly be rolling, let's see, a 20-sided dice to see if they succeed in what they're trying to do. The higher the roll, the more likely the outcome will be. So 20 is good, 1 is pretty bad. And whilst they play their characters, everything else is played by me. So weird villages full of people who are completely not fine, missing adventurers, expired adventurers, kind gods, you name it. Between me describing the world and story, the players describing what they want to do, and some dice rolls to keep things unpredictable for all of us, we will tell our tale. I am Liz. I'll be DMing. I use she, her, they, them. What I'm going to do is just invite the group to introduce themselves, their characters, pronouns for both, and just a little bit about how their character's doing after last episode. And I'm going to start with G today. G, tell us.
Hi, I'm G. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Lorcan, who also uses he, him pronouns. At this point, I think, still very much kind of not over the weirdness, but just a kind of like, okay, this adventure's a weird one. Fine. Whatever. Let's just suck it up and get through it. Was looking forward to the idea of being a mammoth as a mount for a little bit, but I'm not sure if we're going to go that route or not. It does use a spell slot, so who knows?
We'll see what happens. Thank you, G. And we will move on to Pav. Pav, your go. Tell us.
Hi. Hi, my name's Pav. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Dusk, who also uses he, him pronouns. I think that I/Dusk, I'm feeling quite, I think in a way, like intrigued now, because I feel like there's a really clear barrier and unknown. Because up to this point, it's felt a bit whirlwindy a little bit for Dusk, but like now it's like, okay, there's a big castle, there's someone suspicious in the big castle, and we have to do a joust. This feels a little bit more like there's some things to uncover, and I think Dusk is actually a little bit intrigued to find out. Also, like there's a little bit of like potential like grandeur and fancy capes and stuff, which is kind of interesting inside the castle.
Amazing, thank you. All right, well, we'll move on up to Hannah. Hannah, do tell us.
Hello, I'm Hannah. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character Varia, who is a Loxodon barbarian who is the jouster this go around. And I'm sure Varia is feeling extraordinarily confident and happy to be hitting something. I, Hannah Raymond Cox, maybe less so, maybe a bit more nervous. So we'll see what happens. But I think Varia is like, this is in her wheelhouse. She's excited to get back to doing what she does best, which is hitting things. Hasn't got to do that a lot this adventure.
Well, there's certainly time. This is the finale, so we'll see what happens. But I too am looking forward to hitting things. I'm going to just move on over to Rebecca, though. Rebecca, do tell us about you, your character, your pronouns, their pronouns, and how you're doing.
Hi, I am Rebecca. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Ember, who is a Twilight Fairy cleric. A fairy Twilight cleric. Some combination of those words.
Cleric.
Blah, 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 blah. She's small and blue and likes the dusk.
Yes.
But also dusk. Words. She also uses she, her pronouns. Ember, well, everything's fine for Ember, right?
Totally fine.
Ember was worried that there was a lot of stuff going on and that, there might be people screaming at the ceiling in the pub because that happened before, but everything's fine.
Totally, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. And lastly, John. John, do tell us who you are, where you come from.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm John. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Heimlich Stratovarius, who also uses he, him pronouns. And after the last game, I think he's pretty tired to 2 levels, but he had a really good sleep. And I just know that my esteemed colleagues in my party We've sorted it all out. I'm gonna wake up and be like, "We're out here." They'll really had a great time, right?
Totally. Everything's fine, John, lest we forget. So, this stream will run for 3 hours and there will be a 5 to 10 break somewhere near the middle. Sponsors. We are delighted to be sponsored by Hero Forge. With Hero Forge, you can easily make custom minis on your web browser. So they come with every sort of accessory, creature type, costume, that sort of thing, and you can choose it all on their website. They keep expanding that list, so there's always new things to find on there. You can download the files if you have a 3D printer. You can get them to print them for you, even in color, if you don't want to paint them yourself. Super cool, worth checking out, heroforge.com. We're also delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. They do loads of stuff from folios to dice bags. They make all sorts of gaming collectibles as well as other accessories, such as my favourite, Gary the Gazer. Welcome, Gary. If you are in Twitch chat today, just say something nice, preferably nice, and you'll be entered into a random draw to win a gift voucher. Ask those mods for more info, and you can find all of Ultra Pro stuff at ultrapro.com. We are also sponsored by Elderwood Academy, who are the premium and bespoke gaming. They are the premium purveyors of bespoke gaming themed gear. They make dice boxes, deck box rolling trays disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, such as this one. So this one opens. Oh my gosh, we've got another one. Does yours open too?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I won't drop the dice.
I know, right? You have to be really careful when you hold these up. Oh, this is so cool. Yes, we are.
Pat made this for me. Roll Together Chat made this for me.
Hey,
it's
that's
great.
Amazing. Thank you, Roll Together Chat. So yeah, we have those to show you. If you want, you too can get one of those at 10% off with the code roll-together at checkout. Find out more at elderwoodacademy.com. We are also supported by D&D Beyond, which is awesome. We use it every time we play. You can see everyone's character sheets on the overlay on the left-hand side of the screen. D&D Beyond, super helpful. So it describes your spells, does your dice rolls for you, tells you what conditions are. You can click on them and it tells you what happens. It can even help you with death saving throws should you find yourself in such a sticky situation. On that note, we're also supported by Level Up Dice. There is a link in chat for our Table Shakers range. If you've ever had the privilege of holding one of those dice, they are so heavy and they make such a good noise when you roll them, so do check that out. We are also supported by 2 lovely D&D video games, Idle Champions and Warriors of Waterdeep. Both are very cool. I have both installed. Idle Champions is available on PC as well as an app on your mobile device. You can see some codes at the bottom of the screen that begin with exclamation points. You can type these into Twitch chat for download links. For Idle Champions, there's a code you can directly enter into the game, or type code into Twitch chat for a chest, whereas for Warriors of Waterdeep, type WoW Gems into Twitch chat for a link to free gems. We are Roll Together RPG on all socials. There will be links in chat. Do like, follow, and subscribe. A massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can find a link in chat. Help us make our shows from just £1 or $1 and unlock more tiers by joining. Our shows are also available as podcasts. Just search Roll Together RPG on your favourite podcasting app. Finally, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans and GNC positive, and we encourage and champion trans and GNC players and characters in our game. The DM and players may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen, and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If we miss an instance of misgendering, we're open to being corrected, so please do let us know if you think one has been missed. And now, let us jump in to the intro for the final episode of Halls of the Undermountain King. So what happened last time? Like literally so much happened last time. In Fineville, which is where you are now, you encountered a fallen adventurer, Yomsef Brightmoon, from one of the missing posters. You used Speak with Dead to find some information out, confirming that everything was not fine, but you were told to keep that to yourselves. You also found out that this oddness was powerful and spreading throughout all of Undermountain, and you know that it's reached the Yawning Portal already, so perhaps beyond into Waterdeep. Dusk, you went to the bakery to get a totally fine cupcake that was in no way cursed. Fortunately, Heimlich identified that for you, so you know what's good and you know what's bad about it. Heimlich, my love, you pried a little bit too deep into the minds of the villagers and suffered a lot of exhaustion as a result. But Ember, you kindly looked after Heimlich and went to find missing adventurer number 2, Agatha Mantlebrim at the Nice Night Inn. Varya, Dusk, and Lorcan continued to the castle and spoke to 3 interesting figures: the Chain, Sir Lord Bibbledy-Boop, and missing adventurer number 3, Terry Greatshoe. You found out about the tourney. Varya signed up to be the champion. So excited. You found out that the grand prize was an audience with the king. The king, of course, being the root of all this weirdness, or so that's what Yonsef told you. Lorcan and Dusk, you investigated the castle grounds and almost got caught if it were not for some clever spell usage and some good rolls. You scarpered from the grounds, but got some helpful intel about the castle layout and the security levels. You all met back up at the Nice Night Inn. Ember, you spoke to Araleth, who couldn't do much, but gave you the blessing of Araleth in hope of helping Heimlich. Are we all on the same page? Does that all make sense? That did happen last time, I promise.
Yep.
Okay. So, you awoke in your rooms, which apparently changed in the night. You each found yourselves surrounded by twisted versions of home, pieces of your subconsciousness littering the rooms in which you slept. Gathering yourselves and your senses, you assemble in the hallway of the inn and await the rather groggy bard to appear from his room. The door opens, and you see what looks to be an orchestra of skeletons behind the more gaunt than usual face of dearest Heimlich. Ember, in this moment, do you wish to do anything?
I would like to flutter up to Heimlich's head height and give him a short, sharp slap on the cheek and go, "Wake up!"
Amazing.
Oh.
Amazing. Heimlich, you feel the warmth of an unknown entity to you. It begins on your cheek and warms your heart, and you feel much more rested. And you are now only suffering 1 point of exhaustion as the warmth of Araleth wakes you up, along with the slap from Ember. Ember, do you want to just roll a little strength check for me, just to see how hard that was?
Oh no, I actually have quite a high strength. That's a 19 on
19.
the
Oh boy. Heimlich, you are so awake. Oh no, plus.
Plus 3, 22 points, 22 to hit.
So you get the first hit, right, which wakes you up, and then you get the backhand after that, which is a little less. So all of you, before you exit the Nice Night Inn, you've got this minute in the corridor together. If there's anything you'd like to talk about before you set off. So Terry Greatshoe's outside right now, and the bell is ringing, his town crier's bell. So anything you would wish to talk about just before you set out for the day?
Yeah. So Lord Bibbledy-Boop is a Drider. I'm fighting them. So, do we know anything about Driders? Where I should aim? Where they're embarrassed by something? I don't know, anything.
I don't know how much Dust knows about Driders. Can I do a history check?
Could I also do a history
I
check?
will say all of you history check at disadvantage, just to... It's quite a vague thing, so go for it.
I got a 15.
Ooh.
16.
I got at disadvantage 23.
God, Lord.
I got 18 and 19 on the dice.
This is terrifying because these are all our good rolls and they're going to go now.
Yeah.
That one's coming.
Disadvantage 20.
Wow, okay, yes. I would guess that Heimlich and Ember would be the voices of knowledge on this matter. So you spend some time thinking together with those roles. Ember, do you want to What are the 3 things from the past that you would know about a Dryden?
I magically remember, because I'm all about Twilight, that a Dryder has disadvantage. I mean, it's much worse at attacking you in the sunlight. So sunlight is bad, so good for us. And I also remember, because Araleth famously killed Lolth, so again, I know things about Spideys, that unsurprisingly, Driders can climb upside down very difficult surfaces, so they can do that. And you can't put them to sleep with magic.
I remember Mati and Vata faced a couple one time, and they're also very hard to charm, so I will not be trying that. They can cast some little magics, and they are also not restricted by. We talked about it. They can. We talked climbing things and climb across webs as well. I don't know if you mentioned that, but they are quite dangerous. You will have fun.
Sounds good. Okay, sunlight. Great. So already it's daytime. That bodes.
I can make it even brighter if we wanted, like bring the sun out for a little bit. Shall we? I guess we can wait and see if it's cloudy.
Sure.
I'll walk up to Varia and pull from my robe the very brightly coloured cupcake and hold it up to Varia.
Could you remind me and the audience what the cupcake does?
The cupcake is a great cupcake that gives you the ability to be fast and good in your life. Mechanically, I think haste, but does bad things as well, which I cannot remember what the bad things are.
You have to roll for the bad things.
So you have to roll, and it's fine.
I mean, let's make it interesting.
I mean, Fire, just for one moment, just roll an intelligence check for me, please.
Oh, good. Her best stat. Let's do it. That's a 4 minus 1. That's a 3.
Okay. Sure. This cupcake will certainly help you in this joust. Especially the joust specifically will be super helpful.
Can I give the cupcake a sniff?
You can, yes.
Advantage to that.
Of course you can. With your snoot. Yes. Do it.
I feel like it's going to be really helpful. That's why.
Yeah, well, so helpful. That was a 6. I know slightly more.
Yeah, you're so. I mean, you've had a cupcake once, right? And it was nice. What could be wrong with this? For the purpose, I'll let you mull over that, Varia.
Yeah. I'm also going to. Varia is also going to gesture at Dusk, having been given the cupcake, and go. So. Also, we know that the person who judges this joust is going to be in one of the boxes, the royal box. If we can take a sneaky peeky, it might not be a bad idea.
And I'll nod.
Amazing.
Understood.
Varia eats the cupcake.
Oh boy. So.
Oh no!
Oh no! I couldn't think of an in-character reason not to.
Definitely fair.
She failed 2 rolls.
Oh boy.
But also, oh no.
So Varia, you're currently hasted.
Sick. Don't know how long that lasts for. Probably not.
That lasts for a minute. So the rest of you watch Varia fully wake up. The pupils dilate. Varia, could you please roll 2d6 for me, please?
I could.
The equivalent of drinking 4 espressos before your interview because you're really nervous.
Puffing a load of speed.
Tell me the scores separately.
A 6.
And
a 1.
Oh, okay. So you are currently. This will be super helpful for you, especially when you're raging in this minute. You're currently resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and I've forgotten the other one. Slashing damage currently, but you are vulnerable to psychic damage in a minute. So no one do any psychic damage. Varia shoots downstairs. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm just going to speak to some dead people and get a tale from beyond.
Ooh, roll your stuff.
And rolled a 7, which is the tale of the beguiler, and I'll just hold on to that for a while.
Okay.
But maybe dish that out later.
When the joust is about to start in a matter of seconds, I will go and bless Fire. So she has a D4 on every attack roll.
Cool.
For a minute.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that in just a minute, but does anybody else want to do anything before you set off downstairs?
I'll just look apologetically at the group after Varia dashes down the stairs after that. Yeah, with the cake.
Vaya's gone. She had a great time. Lorcan, how about you and Kato? What's going on?
Just following after Varia, I think.
Amazing. Yeah, you have to run to keep up. So you lot get downstairs, and Agatha Mantlebrim bids you farewell as you exit the nice night inn to the fresh morning air. That greets you, along with none other than Terry Greatshoe, wielding his town crier's bell. He is wearing a fabulous outfit today. So he's got the bell in one hand and he's got a clipboard in the other. He is wearing a yellow and black harlequin tabard with orange tights. He's got those curly toe shoes on. And yes, in case you were wondering, that codpiece is still on. So he greets you and begins to take you to the east side of town. You end up going through a forest towards the sound of gathered crowds and cheering. Through the trees, you see the tops of striped tents, billowing ribbons fluttering high above. You spot banners of heraldry affixed to the side of a towering structure. There's more bunting stretching out. Fire, calm down, it's okay. And you see various stalls around the edge of what you realize is a huge arena, a circular structure. You see crowds of joyous orcs, goblins, kobolds, ogres, bugbears, and various other gleeful villagers. And they're sort of filing through two archways at the front of this arena. As a team, may I just have a perception check, just to see if you can catch anything else?
Natural 20.
19.
Mm-hmm.
25.
Yeah, 25 total.
24.
Terrible waste of rolls. 14.
Oh, Dusk. So while everyone else is like on edge and you're kind of looking around and just making sure that everything's okay, Dusk, what are you doing that you would roll sort of are you just sort of looking at the sky? Are you...
I think just seeing if there's like a sale, if the bakery has a stall as part of all of this or not.
Cool. So Dusk is proper distracted. Classic Dusk. And the rest of you immediately, you watch as there's a pair of hulking hobgoblins. Now these guys are bigger than bugbears. They are sort of fearsome. One of them's got a bonnet on, and the other is wearing lederhosen, and they are both squealing with absolute excitement and delight. They are unable to contain themselves, and they're giggling and clapping in anticipation. The one with the lederhosen has a little pennant on a stick with a coat of arms of a spider. Terry kind of beckons you and takes you to the front of the queue. You get through the gates immediately, and you see a sight you've seen before. You see a long central space holding a jousting arena surrounded by tiered seating, and you have seen this before in Waterdeep Market Square. The seating divides on the right-hand side. In the space created by the split, on a raised platform, you see a very extravagant royal box decked out in purple velvets and silks embroidered in gold. Tapestries hang behind an ornate throne, and two beautifully carved chairs bedecked in velvet cushions and golden tassels. Via. Terry motions to 4 goblins, each one wearing half a pantomime horse costume. They approach, and Terry asks you, "Have you an honorific or title you wish the lads to refer unto you as such? Like my lord, or my lady, or sir, or you?"
Well, Varia just sort of, wired on this cupcake. Just goes, the best. And that's it.
And Terry Gretchen's like, "The best," and he writes that down. But again, you notice that the quill has no ink there. "Right, lads, you heard the best. Not my lord, the best." And they kind of, "All right, yes, my lord. I mean, the best. We will do our absolute best for you. The best." They get very confused with their words. Terry directs you, Vaya, to the jousting area, which is immediately before you. The rest of you, aptly named at this point Team Cupcake, are shown to the VIP area, right up close to the action. The fanfare resounds and there's a procession led by standard bearers holding a banner adorned with a crown. The trumpeters and drummers follow, the audience roars in excitement. Making their way to the royal box is a line of completely differently shaped individuals. A robed figure that Dusk is the only one to have seen this one before through the windows of the castle, tall and thin, accompanied by a familiar form for most of you, the Chain, who holds in his hand 2 thin velvet leads, on the end of which are peacocks, hooded, and the hoods have googly eyes on. He follows this figure, this robed figure, who goes past the vacant throne and sits on one of the chairs next to it. The Chain stands next to him. As the mysterious figure sits down, you spot the odd googly eye around the cusps of his sleeves. The hood is pulled low, and a band of thick silk obscures the face. Following them is a very small goblin. Her hair piled up high on her head, and hanging from her left ear is a single pearl earring. She uses a small ladder, quite uncumbersome, to get onto her chair, where she then reclines elegantly. We are going to begin as Vaya. You take your position on your mount, which is the lads, who are this goblin gang. As you do, Terry begins to announce to this crowd, which has gathered quite extensively. We've got Scarred Hide of Team Cupcake. There's some clapping from the audience, but how do the rest of you respond to this?
I think Larkin would do a bit of a wolf howl.
Amazing. Do you want to do a performance check for that for me, please, Larkin?
Yeah. That's a 12.
12? Okay, yeah. Some of the crowd join in with you. Although they're not quite sure why they're doing it. They think they're being summoned, but they are howling along with you. Anything else?
I would like to take the last kind of note of the wolf howl and then pull it out and start playing like a really thumping jig and get some stamping going, and try and pass over a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Through.
You would have time to do that, absolutely, but roll that performance check for me, please, Heinrich, to see how well that goes.
That was low. That was it. So 15.
15?
Because disadvantage because I'm still tired.
Oh,
I'm doing my best.
You are doing your best. So the crowd currently howling with Lorcan, then begin to try and the notes change of the howl kind of in time with you. And Vaya, yes, I suppose you do feel somewhat inspired by this. Is it a D8, please, John?
D8. Whenever you want in the next 10 minutes.
And anyone else?
I would like to druid craft. Does Vaya have hair?
I think so, yeah.
In that case, I'd like to druid craft a puff of wind that just makes her hair flow out magnificently behind her. Yes.
Amazing.
I did say, bless you, but I think I need to touch you for that.
Sure, there's still...
No, I don't. I don't need to touch you, so we will assume that the druid's craft is me also blessing you.
Sure, we will say, Vaya, you are currently blessed. That is fine. And Dusk, in this minute, anything you'd like to do?
I think Dusk will just from the crowd would have found a place in the crowd to kind of sit inconspicuously with a hood up, and then would just say you can do it, but not very audibly.
Amazing. Okay, are you stealthing in this moment?
I think not mechanically, but effectively.
Got you. Okay. You're like that hungover guy that rocks up to the event and then is just quiet for most. Yeah, okay, I get it. Okay. Okay, so all of that happens, and as it does, Terry then cries, "And next we have up the one, the only, Sir Lord Bibbledy-Boop." And there's an ominous drum roll. And a shock of white hair protrudes like a plume through a blackened steel helmet placed over their face. You notice, Vaya probably would notice, the helm has 8 slitted eye holes. striding into this space, carried on her own 8 legs, this drider, part drow, part giant spider, her armor decorated in the black heraldry of arachnids. The goblin lady in the royal box holds out a crocheted handkerchief to Sir Lord Bibbledy-Boop, who raises her visor of the helmet to delicately kiss the goblin's hand. She ties the handkerchief to the end of her lance and takes her place opposite your champion, Scarred Hide of Team Cupcake. Speaking to the joust.
I see this.
Yeah.
Can I take out a very, very small fairy handkerchief and fly over and tie it to Vaya's weapon?
Absolutely.
No one is outdoing Vaya. That's not happening.
So,
love this.
Yeah, Amber, are you going confidently? Are you sort of going sheepishly? What's the vibe here?
I think she's going to do her very best to do snide, which I don't think she does very well.
Okay.
But it's sort of like, oh, if we're making such a fuss about it, then obviously Varia needs this.
Amazing. And Vaya, I'm assuming you accept the handkerchief, is it? Handkerchief?
Absolutely. Not only do I accept the handkerchief, I make a really big deal out of accepting the handkerchief.
Yes.
Like, I'm just as good.
Okay. Can we have a performance check then? I'll say with advantage because of Ember coming across to you and presenting you with the handkerchief.
Yeah, with advantage. I rolled the same thing twice. That's unfortunately a 7.
A 7.
Both times.
Okay, so
I'm not using these dice anymore.
So you
switching dice.
You pick up the handkerchief that Ember presents to you, but you pick it up with your snoot. What's the word? Trunk. But you breathe in a little bit and you get it stuck, and you're like, and you have to pull it out there a little bit. But yeah.
For what it's worth, you do have a D4.
I do.
No, you don't. It's not an attack roll or a saving throw.
Yeah,
I am incorrect. I'm
not using that, and I'm not using my inspiration for it either.
Yeah,
so
that's reasonable. But blesses every time for a minute. It's not one-off.
I love this. We love to hear it.
So, as all that happens, Terry says, and he kind of walks up to you two in the middle, and says, "Let's have a good clean fight. No funny business, no punching underneath the belt. Remember, the grand prize is audience with the king, so a lot to play for." He turns to the robed figure in the royal box. "Most esteemed custodian, do we have your permission to begin?" Silent. The custodian elegantly circles a gloved hand. So, for those who are wondering, the rules of jousting are as follows. The jousters must use non-magical melee weapons, so there's no spells allowed from the jousters. Jousters must have a mount of some variety, which can be anything. This is not a deathly combat scenario. It's a minigame where standard initiative-based combat rules do not apply, so there's no things like bonus actions or anything like that. There are 4 phases: a creativity phase, where we find out how the jousters will try and improve their chances by either advantaging themselves or disadvantaging the opponent. There's then the allies assist phase, where the team in the stands tell us how they will influence the joust. The attack phase is the roll-off, where the highest roll hits regardless of AC. The resolve phase is last, where we work out the damage for that round. Word of warning: if you take 3 hits in total, you'll need to roll a dexterity saving throw to remain on your mount. If your HP is less than half, that saving throw is done at disadvantage, and the joust finishes when one jouster is unseated. Okay. And with that, Terry's got his bell. He's going to ring that to start everything off. Vaya, your mount or mounts say to you, "All right, the best. Well, we'll try our absolute best for you." All right, creative phase, round 1, let's go. Vaya, you have 3 ways of advantaging yourself and 3 ways of disadvantaging your opponent. What are you going to do, and how are you going to do it?
Right. Having the lovely gobbers tell me, "We're going to do the best for you."
The best for you, yeah, the best.
Yeah, Varia's going to look at them and go, "All right, so what I want you to do," because how are they holding me up?
Okay. So they've got their arms crossed, and they each have a handle of a wicker basket, and you're sitting in that currently.
Great.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is get up onto my knees.
Okay. The best. You know what's best. The best.
And I'm going to say to them, "Right. So on the count of 3, I want you to use your might to throw the basket up in the air and throw me forward."
Okay.
towards the Drider. So the height advantage, like a sort of, if you are my amazing mount, my horse, as if it's going to do a leap. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, the best we could do that for you. That's not a problem. The best.
Yeah, it's very athletic. So I hope you're up for it.
Yeah, well, we can do our best. The best. That's fine.
Right. So she is going to try and use contested athletics to get extra force.
Got you. Extra force behind the attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, before you do that, Sirlo Bibbledy-Boop, kind of confident in this space. She's done this before. She's going to try and intimidate you by saying, "You will never be a knight. You are naught but a speck upon this arena." So we're just going to do that roll off now. So we'll do yours first, which is your contested strength. Athletics, yeah?
Yeah. I have advantage because I'm jumping. Oh my gosh. And then I add the 4.
Okay.
Right, and that's a 4. Oh, thank fuck. That's an 18.
Okay, well, she got a 9, so you currently have advantage on that. Okay. However, let's just think about that insult that was a sick burn. So she is going to roll an intimidation check versus a charisma saving throw from you, Vaya, please.
Okay, and I have a saving throw. This is, and I'm just checking my bless.
Of course.
It's for saving throws as well. So let's do. Wait, is she trying to frighten me or just intimidate?
Intimidate you.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's a 19.
Okay, she got a 13, so that didn't work. You're currently advantaged at the moment. Okay, we're then going to move over to the ally phase. So you lot, what are you doing? You know that Vaya is looking strong out there. Anything else you'd like to do to maybe disadvantage Sirlo Bibbledy-Boop or get the crowd behind Vaya more than Sirlo Bibbledy-Boop? Do tell us.
I feel like the insult game was quite fun.
Okay.
Could we do like not vicious mockery, but just mockery and try and...
Is there a reason we can't make it really vicious?
I'm quite nervous about causing wisdom saving throws and creatures in this world. I should have asked to borrow the Ring of Mind Protection, I think. Maybe if things go later, but at the moment I just don't want to be so tired.
Yes, of course. We can do some mocking.
Okay.
Has anyone got a good insult for a spider? I think I have one.
You're the wordy person.
Okay. Your mother ate your father and he tasted terrible.
I felt that as a DM. Truly. Okay, so that's going to be an intimidation, right, Heimlich?
Yeah.
I'll do versus a charisma saving throw from her.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Oh.
That's just a 9 from me.
Oh, well, she only got a 2, so you are golden. Okay, whew. Okay, so in that minute, as Heimlich pipes up, right, so the goblin with the pearl earring tries her best to swing the crowd in favor of Sirlo Bibbledy-Boop to try and even out the odds. She's going to make a performance check. That's another 2. So, as it stands, Vaya has advantage, Sirlo Bibbledy-Boop has disadvantage because of what Heimlich was able to do. Cool. So, attack phase. We need to roll our attacks. She will do so at disadvantage, Vaya at advantage.
Yeah, this is a straight strength, right?
It's natural attack with your weapon.
Excellent. Varia goes into a rage, by the way.
Of course, I assumed Vaya would have at the beginning. Yep.
Yeah, basically, as you're ramping up. Yay! Okay. And I have advantage as well. Sorry. Forgot. Well, that's nice. That's a 19.
Well, that's a 9 from her, so you get to hit. So roll your damage.
That. I love hit. Right. Roll damage.
And of course, you're raging, so I don't know if your damage is impacted by that.
It is.
Cool.
My damage is in fact impacted because I get another +2 melee. So that's 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. Okay. So all of the above happens. You watch as the goblins with the basket kind of run to one side with Varya, and they kind of lift her up. Varya with the extra strength, Heimlich with the sick burn, the goblin unable to sway the audience. Varya gets the hit. So Lord Bibbledy-Boob not best impressed at this. Terry greets you. Oh, what a good round. Right, okay. Very good, very good. No one's been hit 3 times, so we're not rolling any dexterity saving throws for that. So Lord Bibbledy-Boob kind of cricks her neck and looks at you, Varya. Rather annoyed.
Varya just does a big shrug. Like
a boss. Okay. So Sir Lord Bibbledy-Boob, this round 2, ding ding ding, is going to use her performance ability to try and distract you. She says, "Look over there," and she points to a seat in the crowd that's empty. Look, that's where you should be sitting. Could you roll an insight check against that, please, Varya?
I would love
her
to.
Performance. Yeah.
That's 12.
That's a 19 from her. So she currently has advantage, but what are you going to do, Varya, against that?
I am going to use...
I'll assume you're jumping still if that helps for you.
Yeah, I think so. I think Varya's not going to... It worked last time, so try it again. So he's going to say to the gobbos, "Okay, we've got the plan ready. Ain't broke, don't fix it."
Yes, the plan, the absolute plan. So we run, we lift you up, and then, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the best.
Okay. It's the best.
All right, so that's a contested strength check. We'll just do that now. Athletics, sorry.
Yeah. I don't think so, lads.
She got a 10?
21.
Oh. Okay, so you're currently both advantaged in this minute.
Well, it was athletics, wasn't it?
Yes.
So it would have been 17 plus 9 plus 4. It's a lot.
Yeah, you beat her. That's good. So as allies, you know that Varya's still doing well, but you know that Sir Bibbledy-Boob is also doing well on her go. As a group, what are you doing to try and maybe disadvantage Sir Bibbledy-Boob?
I was wondering, Dusk, you can be invisible without burning a spell slot. Can you go kick some dust in her face?
You have 6 seconds, Dusk, and you're currently in the stalls.
Oh yeah, you didn't sit with us. Nah.
I can create a minor illusion.
Sounds good. What of?
A cupcake.
Oh my god. Okay. Is it going to be a 5-foot cupcake? Because it can be a 5-foot.
Yeah, it's going to be a 5-foot cupcake that's going to appear to the left, to the whichever direction is the useful direction, which is away from Varya.
Got you.
Just a few seconds before the kind of impact moment, and it's going to have googly eye sprinkles.
Oh my god. Someone needs to make this in real life. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you'll be doing that. That's like a distraction, right? Mm-hmm. So that's going to be against her insight. You don't need to roll for that, Dusk. That just happens because it's a spell, but I'll just roll her insight to see if she's distracted by it. What's your spell save DC?
I don't know. No, I haven't played monks before. What happens? It's
So your modifier is your score is +10. She rolled a 15, so she just she actually clocks you, Dusk, as you cast it, and you just get her side eye. That's all you get. So that did not unfortunately work. The goblin with the pearl earring. She's going to pretend to faint as a way of putting Varya off. There's a lot of drama with this. The hand hits the forehead. She stands in her chair and does 4 spins and then faints. Varya, let's have an insight check against that performance.
That is a 15.
Okay. That was a 3. So, Dusk didn't disadvantage Sir Lord Bibbledy-Boob, and the goblin with the pearl earring did not disadvantage you. What that means is you're both still rolling with advantage. So let's roll that damage. Let's see what happens. Both with advantage on the hit.
advantage. Thank God for advantage. 17 plus 7 plus 3. 27.
23, you hit. Roll your damage.
Oh.
That was close. That was super close. Okay, nice.
Yeah, okay. Right, let's do it. That's an 8 plus 4 plus 2. So that's a 14.
Okay. And how would you like to hit her as you charge with the lads?
I think after the look over there, when Varia, which she kind of fell for, Varia was looking over there and went, "Oh, right," and then swings the axe round and catches her
Nice.
off at the thorax. The
Thorax. She just have a torso, but yeah, you can hit a thorax. That's fine.
Basically where there's a join,
Yeah.
just manages to hit right in the join.
Amazing. So you both charge at each other. Via, you aim for like the spot that you can see. You both kind of like round at the other side. At that point, takes a bit of time because Sir Lord Bibbledy is a bit annoyed. There's a little moment where she makes her way across to the royal box, makes her way towards the custodian, and she says, "My lord, I am besmirched. There is no honour in this one," and she points to Vaya, "and there is no honour in their party. I demand," and he raises her hand and cuts her off mid-sentence. Terry Greatshoe steps up and, "Well, I think it's time to break the tension with round 3. So, Lord Bibbidi Boop, if you wouldn't mind making your way back to the... There we go. Oh, yeah, she's going. Oh, she's gone. Yeah. So, round 3. She is going to attempt to put more force behind her attack via this round. So what would you like to do?
Right. Okay. I reckon she tried to trick me with an insight, so I'd reckon her insight would be pretty good. Okay. Yeah. I think Varia's going to try an intimidation risk.
Ooh, okay, let's go with that first. That's very exciting.
Yeah, Varia is just going to be like, "Oh, running back to mommy, you can't fight your own fight? Really?"
Okay, so roll your intimidation for that.
Here we Oh, okay, that is I wish I were better. That's a 20, a non-nat 20.
Okay,
I wish I were better at maths.
She rolled 16, so gosh, you've won that one again, Vaya. But she will be putting that extra strength behind her attack, so can we just have a contested athletics check, please?
Sure, not a problem.
She rolled, yeah. That's 20 for her.
Oh, what a pity. My athletics is +7, and I've just rolled yet another 17, so...
I'm on 17 too. Oh, okay. But yes, all right, you still win that, so she does not get herself advantage. Cool. In that moment, the rest of you, what would you like to do? So Vaya is currently advantaged. Sir Lord Bibbledy Boop is not. Do you wish to disadvantage Sir Lord Bibbledy Boop a little bit more? And if so, how? Go on,
I was going to say, can I insight the 2 rounds we've had so far, and the way that Lord Bibbledy runs and attacks, and see if I can give Varia some bit of information for that.
Sure. Okay. Yep. Make an insight check for me.
Amazing. That's a 29.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. You are being the tactician, so this will disadvantage Lord Bibbledy Boop. Sure. What would you like to say to Vaya in this moment?
I'd sort of I'd go around the arena a bit. And
yeah.
Vaya, I've been looking at the way she runs, and I think if you try and go for the middle leg on her left-hand side, you should do some serious damage, I think.
Cool. Yeah. Middle leg, left-hand side, got it. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see. The goblin with the pearl earring. apparently not fainted at this point. She's absolutely fine. Who knew? She's going to make a sleight of hand check to see if she can cause an obstruction. So they've got this feast in front of them, right? And she just begins to pick up the silverware and just begins to throw it in front of you and the lads' fire. Let's see if that gets anywhere close. That does get before your feet with a 20. So that would disadvantage you, Via, which would put you at a straight roll.
Okay.
Wait,
but I had advantage, and then Lorcan gave me advantage, and then she gave me...
Lorcan told you where Sir Lord Bibbledyboop's weak spots would be, so that counted Sir Lord Bibbledyboop at disadvantage.
Gotcha.
Your advantage has been dropped to straight, so you're rolling a straight roll, and Sir Lord Bibbs is rolling disadvantage. Okay?
Great.
Cool. All right. So, speaking of rolling, let's do that. So she's going to roll at disadvantage. You can just do a straight roll.
For athletics, yeah? No, straight roll.
To hit.
15.
She rolled 15 plus 7, which is more than your 15.
Wait, to hit. Sorry,
To
hit DC plus 7. My great axe is plus 7. So that's 14 plus 7 plus 1.
Oh, you both hit. You both got exactly the same. So you both do damage. I'll roll hers. However, she's now been hit 3 times, so we'll see what happens.
I'll roll mine. And then another 2, so that's 15.
15. Cool. She rolled a 12 on her d12, so in total that is 17 points of damage to you, Vi.
What kind of damage was it?
That would be piercing damage, and you're currently raging.
We are still, and I also had my cupcake.
Hey, that cupcake is worn off. That was only a minute.
Oh, well, okay, so, all right, but I am raging.
You are raging.
I'm not, I have resistance to it. So how much is it now?
That would be 17 halved, which is totally a number. So we will go with
It's 8.5.
Go for 8.
Okay.
In the interests of fair play, Bless also only lasts for a minute, so it's probably gone now.
So the cupcake was consumed before you set off to get here. So I would say Bless is still rolling, considering each sort of run. Yeah, it's
We
still
are doing
rolling.
this 6 seconds. Amazing. Then you've got another
More or
7
less.
rounds. You're fine.
Yeah.
I think I still have some temp HP accident in my sheet, so I'm just going to take it away. There we go. There we go.
So Sir Lord Bibbledyboop.
Down to the proper.
Sir Lord Bibbledyboop. Why did I name Sir Lord Bibbledyboop such? Sir Lord Bibbs needs to roll a dexterity saving throw, and Sir Lord Bibbs rolled a 5. So what happens when that happens is she begins to teeter to one side, and then teeter to the other side, clearly stunned probably by what has just occurred with fire. Does anyone want to just maybe make sure she definitely falls over?
Can I use my trunk and just blow?
Oh my god.
Just some air.
Yes, do it. Do it. Roll for air? No, don't need to roll for anything. You blow. I would do an elephant impression, but I won't. So, yeah, she full on stacks it. So she goes onto her back, and the legs are kind of writhing in this place. The crowd is going nuts. Good work, Fire. That happened super quickly. I like it. She eventually manages to get herself back onto her feet. She pulls off the helmet and just throws it to the ground in annoyance. She mentions something, you can all hear it, about feeding you all to the peacocks as she storms off from the arena. The goblin follows her, picking up her skirts. In this moment, the custodian bestows the king's seal to the chain, who ceremoniously passes it to Terry Greatshoe. Fanfares resound, celebration begins, and Terry Greatshoe Valia comes up to you with the king's seal, that amulet that you've seen them use for the doors. And he says, "Oh, well done. Oh, you weren't. No. Oh, look, it compliments your eyes. Oh, fine embellishment upon any metal piece that the amulet, not you, darling. As I'm sure you're all aware, it's time for the procession to the castle for your grand prize. So just so you know, you can use that to get through the King's Gates. Not many folks get that honour. Usually only the knights and their friends what get such privilege. Oh, maybe the king might ask you to be a knight."
Would do. You coming with?
I'm going to be leading it, sunshine. Don't you worry. And he picks up his town crier's bell and begins to gather the crowds. In that moment, the rest of you, your champion has just won. What would you like to do?
I'd be cheering. Well, howling again.
The crowd still howls with you, Morgan.
I would like to go get my hanky and make an enormous fuss of receiving it back from a champion. You know, all the bells and whistles that could possibly going to this amazing, awesome knight champion.
Some of the crowd actually retrieve handkerchiefs of their own and just sort of throw them Vaya's direction, and they kind of just sort of cascade down on the ground.
I bureaucraft some falling petals to mix in with the handkerchiefs.
Yeah, someone lets off some doves as well, and they fly like behind Vaya's head in like a really dramatic fashion.
I will prestidigitate these handkerchiefs just in case they are not clean.
John, they're not clean. They're not clean. Tyler.
Thank you.
Mine was clean.
Biological warfare.
I have a question for the party, not the DM. Emma has a question. Does no one else think it's a bit strange that no one else competed? They didn't know we were coming, and yet we were 50% of this joust. What were they planning if a group of strangers didn't magically walk in?
Emma, it's not any stranger than anything else around here. I've given up trying to make sense of any of this.
No, but lots of it is sort of just bizarre, whereas this is bizarre in a way that feels like it might be a trap.
Good point. And Varya looks back at our lovely town crier and goes, what was the plan if, someone like me hadn't shown up?
Oh no! Oh well, we would have put the lads in. They try, but they often can't reach. To do the jest. So what happens is they sort of get up on each other's shoulders. One of them tries to wield a lance, and it doesn't go very well. But then they run, and they always lose.
So how long has it been since anyone actually competed against Sir Lord Bibbledy-Boop?
Oh, let's see. And he sort of has a little think. I can't remember. Anyway. Time for the procession. Sorry, yeah.
Have you beaten Sir Lord Bibbledy-Boop before?
No one's ever beaten Sir Lord Bibbledy-Boop. No wonder she stormed off. The chain once gave it a go, but then decided that he'd just, look after the custodian for a while.
Interesting.
Can I just cast my memory back? The wounds that were in the body of the fallen adventurer rested against the tree, were they of similar size and shape to the Bib's lance?
Bib's lance, love it. Cool, make a history check, and I'll say with advantage if any... I'm going to say Ember, you're probably...
think as well.
Yeah.
I have proficiency in history.
Sure.
That's a 9 for me. I'm tired.
Oh, do you want to do it with advantage, or do you want me to roll?
Go for it, because I'm just...
That is a dirty 20.
Oh, okay. So between you realise that the injuries on Yonsef were not done by a large weapon. They were done by possibly one, possibly multiple smaller piercing weapons.
Do the lads carry any small piercing weapons?
Make a perception check, Robin.
Oh no, I'm white. I can do that. 14.
14. No, they do not. They are carrying massive smiles on themselves at the moment because they've actually won. One of them actually tries to sort of like just hold onto Varya's leg and just sort of hugs Varya's leg a little bit. I like you the best.
Offers a hand. Couldn't have done it without you. Well done.
Thank you. I'm going to put it on my CV.
What are you applying for?
I don't know. The best. I keep wanting to call you my lord, and that is not your name. I'm going to call you the best. I'm going to try.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. The best. My lord, the best. Yeah. So while all of that is happening, Terry Greatshoe begins to gather all the crowds and the procession begins. You got the drummers, you got the trumpeters. You notice that the custodian has completely vanished in this time. Custodian is not there. The goblin has gone as well, along with the chain. This procession begins. The lads do offer to carry you, Varya, if you wish to go with them on their basket.
No, I think Varia is going to offer to carry them. I mean, it's only fair.
They are delighted. How do you wish to carry 4 goblins?
How big is a goblin?
I mean, technically medium, but you're a Loxodon, so
they can one on each shoulder, and then one on the back, and then another one in the arms.
Okay, the one in the arms isn't facing the way you're going. It's looking at you in your eyes, and it's a little bit weird, and they're sort of just trying to touch your trunk a little bit.
No. Okay,
well, sorry, no, it's all right. I'll keep my hands to myself. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Like, I'm grateful, but let's not take your attitude too far.
So the goblin turns around. They are called Lad 1, Lad 2, Lad 3, and Lad 4, in case you were wondering. So the procession. It takes you back through the forest, through the town, past the pond near Shipshape Shop. You see that all the villagers, all the shop owners come out of their shops and kind of join in this parade. There's music, there's fanfare, there's cheering. You go over the bridge and you reach the gate, and the crowd kind of all look to Varya in this moment. Terry Greatshoe says to you, Varya, "Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't come with a manual, DM. You just have to pop it in, twist it, and Bob's your uncle. I had an Uncle Bob once, great fella, got decapitated, terrible it was. But yeah, you just pop it in and give it a twist, and there you go. You and Team Cupcake may enter and have your audience with the king."
Thank you. I didn't realize you had family.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's Uncle Bob. And there's Uncle Bob. And there's Uncle Bob. And he goes on and on and on about Uncle Bob over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Great fella. Got decapitated.
I pat him on the shoulder, let the goblins down, and then turn to the rest and go, "Ready?"
Best, let's get on with it.
What could go wrong? Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. But just so you know, that did wear off a while ago, but you're welcome to keep saying it like that.
That was Ember's sarcasm, not Ember's brainwashedness. But it's hard to tell.
Hard to tell. Cool, so these grand doors open welcomingly for you, and the crowd they go silent in anticipation of you just sort of walking through. They don't get to see this very often, and the eyes are wide, and the goblins are just sort of stood at the front just watching you and kind of waving goodbye to you via "Goodbye the best" as you enter.
I'm going to start riffing on that note, just simply the best, and just trying to teach them a little.
Yes. Simply the best.
Better than anyone. And just as we just go through the door.
Especially so, Lord Bibbledy Boop. Yeah, and they take it on for you, Heimlich. And could we? I'm going to do a performance check for them. There's 4 of them. Let's see how that goes. I've got a 2, a 10, a 16, and a 2. One of them gets it, Heimlich, and it stands upon the shoulders of the others as they do in their sort of towering form, and begin to teach the rest of the crowd that song. And you walk forward with that in the distance, and it just repeats over and over and over again. And as you are in the grounds, all of you see that. And I think Lorcan and Dust perhaps have noticed that maybe the security's been stepped up a little bit. There are quite a lot of peacocks hooded strutting around. But the path itself is sort of well cared for. The peacocks aren't coming for you, but they appear to sort of be looking around the grounds. The castle stands in the distance, and these gardens are beautiful and in the daylight, very pretty. There are topiaries flanking the path, and they're spaced out at regular intervals, seem to have been trimmed a certain way to form letters. They spell out fine over and over and over again as you continue forth. Is there anything you'd like to talk about as you're nearing the castle? I'd say you're probably about 200 foot away at this point. You've got a way to go.
I just had a question for DM I have forgotten from last week. Are the peacocks normal evil peacocks, or are they Aarakocra peacocks?
They're not Aarakocra peacocks, although such things are amazing, and I welcome those. They are just peacocks by all accounts. They've got googly eyes on their feathers, but they're not people. They are just literal peacocks.
Cool. I'd just forgotten, and this feeding them to the peacocks threw me slightly. Great.
Yeah. welcome to my mind. But is there anything as a group you'd like to talk about in this moment?
I got us in, but I have no idea what happens now.
I guess we see what kind of state the king is in.
Okay. Somebody else want to do the talking, or what? Like,
Well, I don't mind trying to talk. See what happens.
does Dusk? Do you want to be visible for this? We are
For
our element
now.
of surprise.
Yes, but also it's good to be together.
Yeah.
You can be invisible and with us, but I feel like they probably know. It feels like quite invasive. Speaking of invasive, Dusk, I have a little hobby which is prying around in people's minds and making them do things maybe they don't want to. May I have that ring back that we found? I feel it would be quite useful should I find myself wearying again.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take off the ring of mind shielding and give it to Heimlich.
Heimlich, where are you putting this ring? This ring has seen many lobes, has seen many fingers. Where would you like to adorn yourself?
I think just on the hand.
Got you. So you put the ring of mind shielding on, and you don't hear a voice as such, but you hear like you hear a heartbeat, but it's not like a creepy heartbeat. It's just sort of like a reassuring nod that someone is there within the ring. There is still a soul within that ring. Lorcan and Dusk, can I have a perception check, please?
Oh, 19.
Or history, if that's easier for anyone.
20.
Oh, nice. All right. Between you, you both realise that these gardens have changed. You notice elements dotted around which shouldn't be here. Deck chairs embedded in the soil. Beer barrels wrapped around the trunks of trees. Milking stools with plant pots on. Even as you get close to the castle, Dusk, you specifically notice that the topology of the castle has changed. The windows have disappeared, and that one picturesque door still does remain, but those windows are gone from the front. Despite the oddness, there is still quite a peaceful atmosphere. The sun is gorgeous. The wind is soft. But yeah, that's what you see.
The weirdness reminds me, was anyone else's bedroom kind of freaky when they woke up this morning?
Yes. Mine was like a bad copy of my room at home. Like just bits of it. It was odd.
It made my mural, but better.
No.
Oh no!
Mine was much improved too. I had a whole orchestra. It's what I've been working towards for so long. And they all had googly eyes. It is not serious for music.
I am less of a fan of Wicca when it's sort of a bit cagey everywhere. I may need to rethink my room back home.
Dusk, because Dusk is very secretive about his bedroom, he's just like, well, mine was fine.
Do you want to?
I know this. We have a, I know, because I can fly, I have seen your bedroom. Can I clock this and be like, Dusk, were all those black drapes you have on your wall, had they spread out everywhere?
I was like, oh yeah, one of them was ripped.
Oh no.
I don't know whether to ask to roll for deception or not. I like it. I like it as it is. But you can roll deception if you like. Yeah, go for it.
With my, I was going to say with my passive insight of 20.
Well, I just rolled a 6. So.
Lorcan, something's up. You're not quite sure what, but they're both acting weird. Maybe there's a thing going on.
I think by this point I have worked out that there's something up with Dusk's room.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I feel like
I'm not gonna push that. He clearly doesn't want to talk about it.
I feel like even if you were to hazard a guess, you still wouldn't be able to get it.
Yeah.
All right, so you continue to the castle, all talking about your experiences that morning, working out what's going on with Dusk and Ember and the hidden subtext. Anyway, as you go on, the door at the top of the stairs opens as you just reach the base of the stairs. The custodian stands, peering at you all. He says, "Welcome, champions, one and all. Please come in." And he's holding a bowl. Do you make your way?
What?
A bowl.
A bowl.
A bowl.
No, just a small bowl, like a breakfast bowl.
He's come in and he's just holding a bowl.
Yes.
And Dusk throws his hand. This is too weird now. Bowl. That's it. That's my red line.
He kind of smiles at you because you can't see his face. So he kind of like smiles, and he lowers the bowl down so you can see what's in it, and you can see that there's just googly eyes in it. And he says, "Please forgive this ritual. It is an integral part of our king's rulership. Without these, everything, simply put, would fall into absolute chaos, and we couldn't possibly have that. Come in."
I have read Coraline.
Absolutely not.
I'm inciting the hell out of that.
Roll insight check. Go for it.
Oh, I'm terrible insight.
Anyone else?
The mother nonsense.
Yes, I so am, because the other mother is about to pop out, and I
literally have not seen this, so
You should. Coraline is fantastic. It's buttons
Yeah, not
instead of
selling
googly
it.
eyes. But
I watched it last year and I had nightmares. And
Oh,
I'm
boy.
25. So,
a 21 for
21.
insight.
The custodian seems sincere. Everything in this world is weird. Coraline or not.
Sorry.
He does seem sincere and not threatening in any way. It simply seems like something that happens when people go into the castle.
Do we need to put them on our eyes or just on our clothing?
Just on your clothes. And he kind of brandishes his cuffs at you. And you just see like little googly eyes dotted round. If you do not wish to have these placed upon your garments, this is fine.
thanks. Yeah, I don't wish.
And he just dots them on himself instead.
I think I would walk up with Kato, and Kato would quite want to get some stuck to him. I think if once he gets some on him, he like quite enjoys making the eyes move around and stuff.
Nice. He will offer the bowl to Kato to just like grab a handful to
I'll
put them
probably
on
try and
himself.
eat some.
Yeah.
I think with that insight, sorry,
I'm done.
I think with that insight check, like Amber is quite respectful of other people's rituals and practices. So once she's gone, oh no, okay, she will slightly resignedly offer up her sleeves to be googlied.
And again, you get this sort of smize. And you look in the bowl, and there are different sized googly eyes. So, there would be like big ones, small ones, and there are tiny ones for you, Ember. They all filter towards the bottom, so you do have to rummage through, but you do get a couple.
And I put a really big one right like on my chest.
Nice.
And then small ones around it.
Beautiful. I love it. I love this journey for everybody. What are the rest of you doing? So I'm assuming, Loken and Kato have sort of gone in. Ember follows.
While they're getting their googly eyes, I'll just quietly cast Detect Magic.
Sure.
And do the googly eyes glow in any capacity?
So no, there is no glow of the googly eyes.
Then I'll put a couple on my lapels, maybe on the collar. Just a little.
I wish we had these in real life so we could actually put them on. But that's an aside. We'll fix it in post. We won't. Heimlich, you begin to dot these over you. You can actually make little sort of musical notation if you wanted to, because you've got some on the cuffs of your sleeves. You can actually probably put them on.
Can I take one?
Yeah.
And slip it and stick it inside my robe?
Of course you can. Are you doing so stealthily?
No.
Okay, sure. You'd be able to absolutely do that.
And then I'll walk in.
Okay. And Varya.
Come on, Varya.
Varya.
Have a bit of fun, yeah.
Sorry. I love fun. Fun's my favorite. I'm not doing. I just fought a rider. Sorry.
With the wobble. It's jolly.
They do. They kind of bobble about. That's fine. So Varya, the custodian sort of knows that you are the champion of this joust and sort of smiles at you and says, well, you already have quite a big amulet on you. I suppose you don't have to take part in the ritual, though they are fun. And he kind of shakes them at you a little bit.
Can we meet the king now?
Yes. So you make your way through, and the custodian will sort of lead you at this point. How many of you have been in castles before? Varya?
I'm sure, Lord.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
been in a castle too.
Got you. So not Ember. So this is a new experience for Ember, but the rest of you are fairly au fait with castles. Is that the right word? I don't know. I used it. Between you, you've pretty much seen your fair share. But this is inherently odd. Surprise! The custodian guides you through, and you realise that this is in fact just one long hall, which leads to the next room. The decor still makes sense, but the bricks seem a bit smooth, like it's just one solid surface without any mortar in between the bricks. There's no one else here. There's no staff, no guards. And as these realizations are coming to you and your footsteps are echoing through the tiled floor, the custodian looks over his shoulder and says, "What brought you all to Fineville, and what do you wish to ask the king?"
That's a conversation we should have had.
Well, I guess we're wondering where Fineville came from and why it's at the bottom of a well in a pub.
You're clearly not from around here. Fineville has always been here, and we have always been in Fineville. Why would anyone leave when everything is fine? We have always been in service of our king. He sees all, and we are his, and we await his instruction.
Do I get the sense from the custodian that this is what, in terms of spellcasting, I'd understand as a humanoid? Or do I think there might be, because they're quite sort of, is it a bit hard to tell?
They are walking on two legs, absolutely. So you're able to spot that. Make a perception check maybe, but they appear humanoid, just sort of walking in front of you.
15,
definitely humanoid. As you continue walking, the custodian says, "You must all have strong wills and strong minds to have come here, to have been so famous in such a little village so quickly."
Yeah, can we see the king now, though?
We are nearly there. I must insist on quietness, though. I'm sure you understand. The king is sleeping, and we do not wish to awaken him until the right moment.
When is the right moment?
So you've, at this point, reached a tall door, which you've all seen before. You've seen it. When you went to go see those sledgehammer people? Mm-hmm. It's that door. You've seen that door. That is the door that you see. The custodian.
It's just reusing assets like in The Sims.
In any video game, that's what you need to do. He turns around to you and smiles once more behind all of the face coverings as the door opens.
Hang on. I'm going to do a bit of barding.
Ooh, bard away.
Oh.
So as we get up to the door and before we go through it, I'm just going to use my special sit-in.
Ooh, okay.
Be passively bard sexual and cast charm person.
Okay. Does he need to make a roll?
Yes, that's a wisdom save at disadvantage because I'm using my instrument of the bards.
Let's see. That would be a number. Come on, maths. 23.
23 at disadvantage?
Yes.
He's wise.
Wow.
Does he know that you've done that?
Well, yeah, I cast a spell at him. It's like just playing some music and stuff.
You get 3 points of exhaustion. I'm kidding, John. I would not do that to you.
That would be rude.
Heimlich, all that you see after you kind of... Well, how does charm person work? Is it verbal? You're with your sit-in, isn't it?
Verbal and somatic. So I like to imagine it. How did I like to imagine it? Just he's playing a charming little melody, humming a little tune that hopefully just goes into your brain and makes you my friend.
So
But not this time.
the door opens slowly and the eyes move to you, Heimlich. Such a lovely tune as the door opens. Your focus is immediately drawn to light streaming through a huge stained glass masterpiece in a throne room. This masterpiece dapples lilac and rosy hues throughout the semi-circular room. Jingling with bells, covered in, googly eyes, his back to you, a jester in harlequin garb does cartwheels towards the throne. Not seated upon it, but hovering above. Sound asleep is a huge, grotesque creature. Its skin lumpy and mottled pink. It lists to one side, 4 tentacles trailing below its central mass, occasionally writhing and twitching as they graze the cushioned seat of the throne. Its central eye, as well as the 6 extending above its former eye stalks, remain closed, though beneath the lids they move frantically. The eye stalks themselves seem dormant. They're surrounded by a golden crown. There's a large twitch from the king as you all enter, and the custodian hurries towards him concerned. You take a moment to look at the space around you. Can I just get a perception check from everybody, please?
Oh, fucking can.
Oh, the bowl. The bowl was the last straw. We should have left.
Called it.
The bowl is the big bad,
Nat
everybody.
20.
Nat 20. 15.
17.
Yep.
9.
13.
Dusk, your perception's not on point today.
It's never on point. Not my greatest
Oh,
skill.
never mind. Well, most of you, apart from Dusk, you're in a pretty room, babes. That's it. But the rest of you, the stained glass window behind the king gives you a visual version of perhaps how this place came to be. Especially with that Nat 20 via, you're like, right, that is what's going on. That's where all the tick's been leading to. The first shows, I'm going to say you all know what a beholder is. The first shows a beholder grinning, shooting rays from each of its eye stalks. Although the creature in the first does not look the same as the creature on the throne. That's the first pane. The second pane, fairly gruesome. Just as a warning, it depicts the elder brain being nibbled at by a beholder. So there's this big, huge brain, and the beholder's apparently eating it. Anyway, moving on. The third shows a beholder asleep and 2 mind flayers bearing a tadpole towards it. The fourth shows everything before you that you see now, the king on the throne and 2 creatures either side of it. You look back to the custodian, unwinding the heavy scarf from his face. You watch his tentacles squirm free. The jester stopped cartwheeling at this point. His back no longer is turned to you, and you find yourselves looking at 2 mind flayers blinking at you serenely. The king thrashes in the air, then stills, and the door behind you disappears. The jester carefully caresses the king's closed central eyelid, hoping to keep it shut. "Everything is fine, my liege," he says. Heimlich, those words echo in your mind a little bit. The custodian, hands clasped, face uncovered, comes towards you and says, "Our king will be very hungry when he awakens, but I'm sure he will not need all of you. And we have been so good and so patient." And side note, everything is not fine, and I need you to all roll initiative, please.
Amazing. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Liz, you are one creepy ass person. I hope you know this.
No, I wish that people say that to me more often, Rebecca, to be honest. G, what have you got for me? What's Logan got?
15.
15? Cool. And Dusk?
14.
14? Fire?
15. Thank God I've got advantage.
Who out of you and Logan has the biggest dex?
+2?
+2.
Who would like to go first out of you and Lorcan?
I've got 14 decks. What's your total?
15.
Well, then you.
Okay. So we've got Lorcan, then Varkia, whoever that is. Lorcan, then Varya. Heimlich, what did you get?
I've got a 12.
12. And Ember. 10. Okay. All right. Lovely. So, as you all face what is before you, I'm putting you all in like this semicircular line looking at the throne, which is 60 foot away from you at this point. The custodian about 10 foot away from all of you, and the jester staying by the king hovering above his throne. We will find out what happens after the break. We'll see you soon. Let's see what happens in the next fight. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes, and we'll see what happens. Bye. Let's go. And we are back. So, last we were here, not much happened other than our group is now facing off between 2 mind flayers and the king, whatever that is. We've rolled initiative. We know what the order's going to be. We'll go through in a little moment just where everyone's positioned and stuff. But does anyone have any questions before we start?
Yes.
I do.
Oh boy, okay.
Hannah, you're not called Varia, you're called Hannah. Go for it.
No, please, Rebecca.
Oh, this is so
Okay,
lovely.
so I don't know whether or not Ember would understand this, but I, as a player, I think I understood the stained glass windows, except
Sure.
I don't know what the tadpole is.
Got you. So, long story short, the stained glass windows depict a scene where a beholder infiltrates a mind flayer's lair. Mind flayers tend to use the brains of people to control them, and they normally do that by, sorry viewers, implanting a tadpole into their brain. So this beholder is a little bit different in that it likes to eat things, right? So the mind flayer colony is controlled by the elder brain, and the beholder rocked up, went, oh, that's tasty, ate the elder brain, and maybe got some psychic powers, which kind of makes sense, Ember, because you're in this world which is clearly some kind of dreamlike state. But in order for the mind flayers, the remaining 2 mind flayers, to get some kind of control and get their elder brain back, they implanted their tadpole into the mind of the beholder while it was unconscious after consuming so much psychic power. But ever since has been sleeping, and that was the 4th panel that you saw with it asleep and the 2 mind flayers standing on the side. Does that answer your question?
So all of Fineville is basically a weird beholder elder brain dreaming?
I guess, yeah. It's very dreamlike, and you experience that in your rooms. As you dreamt, it sort of takes from people, so it takes from subconscious of anyone within this place. So anything that you've experienced, things like Waterdeep, things like your rooms, somehow manage to find their way into this world.
So we're kind of asking, do beholders dream of eldritch sheep?
Yes, but not
I appreciate
today.
I love that. I love it.
Is there a fire exit?
So, no, there is not, Dusk. I'm so sorry. There is not. The king twitched and the door disappeared, and yes, health and safety will have a nightmare. And on the subject of nightmares, I think we should begin combat. So I've positioned you like kind of in the order that you walked in, and you're in a sort of circular formation by where the door used to be. So we've got Lorcan, Ember, Heimlich, Dusk, Varya in that sort of line. 10 foot away from you, central to you, is the custodian. 60 foot away from you is the throne. And sort of just in front of that is the jester. And that's the layout. First up is the custodian. You didn't roll very high on your initiatives. I was quite disappointed, but it's fine. Everything is fine. So the custodian will, let's see. I'm just going to roll. There's 5 of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kato included. I'll roll a d6.
It's 4.
Dusk. The custodian is going to just, hands clasped on his front, kind of just sidle up to you, and he's going to try and tentacle attack you with the tentacles on his face. He's going to roll to hit. That's a 15 plus 7. Does that beat your AC?
It does, yeah.
Okay. You suffer some damage. Let's see what that is. The rest of you watch as the custodian kind of really kind of easily just sort of shifts up to Dusk, looks down on him, and just gets onto his face. 10 plus 4, 14 points of psychic damage, Dusk, to you. Now you are considered...
Hold on.
Yes.
Sorry. So he rocked up, so
Yeah.
he is near me now.
Correct. He is 5 foot away from you, Varya.
Great. Varia will sentinel attack.
Oh, cool. Tell us what Sentinel does.
When a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you, you can use a reaction to make a melee
weapon attack. We'll use a melee weapon. A melee weapon.
Against the attacking creature.
Okay, roll to hit.
Thank you. Ha ha ha. 20.
Ooh,
Nice.
not
This
natural.
guy in particular, non-natural.
Okay, could you please roll your damage for the
Love to.
custodian? Dusk, I'll get back to you in just a second, but we'll just see how much
Sorry.
damage will be dealt.
He takes 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Almost unfazed by this, as you do slice through the robe and googly eyes just sort of spill out onto the floor. Dusk, you're considered medium, aren't you? Or smaller?
I think
You're not large.
Yes.
Got you. Could you please make for me an intelligence saving throw? You're considered grappled because he hit you, but you also need to make an intelligence saving throw for me.
13.
13. That's not quite what you needed. You're also considered stunned. So you are grappled and stunned. The rest of you have seen this happen. When you are stunned, just so you know, you cannot take actions or reactions. You can take bonus actions, though. Could be handy, just saying. You auto fail strength and dex saving throws, and attack rolls against you are done at advantage. So that happens. The custodian kind of bends down, but then almost picks Dusk up from his feet as he eats his face, pretty much. That's what you can tell from where you currently are. On that note, Lorcan, what would you like to do? You are on the other side, roughly 30 foot away from what's happening over there with Dusk. Everything else roughly about 60 foot away from you, straight ahead.
Okay. I think Kato would kind of grab Lorcan by the scruff and swing up onto his back and run over towards the custodian, pulling out his lance. As a bonus action, we'll cast Ensnaring Strike and then do his 2 attacks and Favoured Foe against Custodian. So, my attacks, I need that one.
Are you I'm really sorry, G. Are you Ensnaring Strike first?
Yes.
Does the Custodian need to roll anything?
If it hits, I think. If my attacks hit.
Got you, understood. Thank you.
The Ensnaring Strike, next time I hit a creature with a weapon attack.
Marvellous. And that's a concentration, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely.
So, first attack is 26.
That'll do it, yep. Nice. That's what we like to see.
Second attack is a dirty 20.
Beautiful. They're done at advantage as well, aren't they? Because they've mounted combat. Because you're a...
Oh, yeah. So yeah. In fact, the first one then is the 26. And the second one is 23.
They both hit. Please roll your damage, please. And we'll do that in Snaring Strike too.
Yeah. And I've got my Favoured Foe. So
I love all the things.
So that's 8. That's rubbish. So that's 7. So that's 15. The Ensnaring Strike is a Strength saving throw.
Ooh, okay. 15.
15. My save is DC is a 15.
So that meets it, which means the action does not take effect.
Yes.
But you're still concentrating on it, so it could happen next time if you hit it, I believe.
Okay, I'll take that.
I'm fairly certain that's right. I'll take it too. How about that? There we go.
Cool.
Good.
And yeah, the Favoured Foe I think is a D6. Just yeah. So that's so it's 15, so 19 points of damage.
Oof. Cool. All right. So those 2 attacks with the lance. It's the lance, isn't it, that you're attacking with? Got you.
Yeah. So I'm still 10 feet away from.
That's unfortunate. I mean, him. We'll go with him.
Okay.
Yeah. So those 2 attacks connect. It still seems very focused on Dusk in this moment, but they do connect. You try with the Ensnaring Strike, which almost takes hold, but then he kind of shrugs it off. They seem to have some kind of magical resistance, meaning that they do roll with advantage for magical effects. Lorcan, you're 10 foot away. Are you staying where you are? You do still have about, I'm going to say, you're got 40 foot, haven't you, of movement?
40 foot as well.
Yeah, you've still got about 10 foot if you want to move any further.
No, I don't think so.
Excellent. Okay. So Vaya, the custodian is literally next to you in this minute. What would you like to do?
Well, I want to rage because this is pissing me off.
We love a rage. Okay, rage away.
So I'm raging.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to hit him.
Oh.
I know, what can I say?
Novel. I'm kidding. We love Vaya. We do.
Thank you. So that's a 16.
Oh, that hits.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Politeness costs nothing.
I know, right? Sorry, I'll stop distracting.
No, sorry, maths. 9 plus 15 points of damage.
Marvellous. That was your first attack, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, well, your second attack.
17 to hit.
Oh, that'll hit, yes.
Yes, and now I roll.
Yes.
Yes. And that's 10 plus 4 plus 2.
That's a number.
So that's 16.
16. Okay. I'm going to do maths now because that was a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
Bear with, caller.
Do.
Got you. Sorry, 1 second.
No.
Marvellous. Okay.
No.
So yeah, those 2 strikes attack the creature holding Dusk at the moment. They slice through, and you watch as it slices through the sleeve, and you do spot a bit of purple ooze from this mind flayer that is right before you, Vaya. Are you staying where you are, or are you moving away?
If I move away, I would give it attack of opportunity, so probably not. What I will do, though, is with my bonus action, if I have any. Do I have any?
You bonus action raged, I believe.
Yeah, so I don't have any this time. That's fine.
But next
I don't
time,
want to use my movement. I'm just going to go.
Hello. There we go. Marvellous. Good. We like it when that happens. Thank you, Vaya. We'll move on over to, well, the king is sleeping, so we'll move over to Dusk. Now, you are currently grappled and you are currently stunned. I'm going to tell you that the room is lit, but it is dim. I don't know if that impacts any of your bonus actions.
It does.
Oh.
Thank you very much for that information.
Right.
Because in dim light, as a bonus action, I can teleport up to 60 feet into an unoccupied space that I can see. So what I would like to do is do that out of the face of my attacker. That would be preferable.
So you absolutely may do that. You can teleport away from this, or you can escape a grapple by someone pulling you out of it. But teleportation, absolutely fine. Now, you are kind of near the right-hand side, near the back of the throne room. You've got a shed load of space to move into. You can go all the way to the left. You can go all the way to the front. You can go up to 60 foot, so it's up to you where you specifically like to go.
I guess I don't know this yet, but will using this allow me to use my action on this turn, or is that going to be the end of my turn?
That would be the end of your turn this time, because you get out of it and then regain yourself, if that makes sense.
Makes sense. In which case then, what I would like to do is off myself 60 feet up to 60 feet towards, there are maybe like
You're taking me on a journey, Taff, I'll be honest.
I am, because I'm thinking about, do I actually want... I feel like after having my face nibbled, my instinct is to be far away from people. So I think I want to be as far away from anything harmful as possible while still being in the room.
Got you. You would absolutely be able to sort of move into that kind of space. That would be the left-hand sort of corner for you. That's the furthest away from everybody that you could possibly be.
That's wonderful.
Cool. So, you'd be able to do that. Vaya, you notice as Dusk form just kind of... How do you vanish in the space, Dusk? Is it just like smoke?
Yeah, it's like smoke, but with like a hint of glitter.
Ooh, what colour's the glitter?
The glitter is pink, but it's very... You have to really...
look.
Yeah.
Got you. So with a smoky, glittery kind of flourish, Dusk vanishes and reappears. Dusk, because you've escaped the grapple, you're no longer stunned or grappled. So you are all kinds of good for your next go.
Thank you very much.
It's fine. I'm just here to kill you all. I'm not. Heimlich, what would you like to do? You are literally 10 foot in front of the door from which you came that's now disappeared. The custodian about 10 foot to your right-hand side, 60 foot ahead of you, the king and the jester.
Well, I was quite concerned about Dusk, but he seems to sort it himself out, which is good. I am going to try out something. I'm going to use one of my spirit stories, which was spirit story number 7, my bardic ability. Where is it? I'm just trying to see if it's referred to as spell. While holding your spirit focus, you can apart my violin, flip it over, slap my hand on the talking board. Spend one use of your bardic inspiration dice on spirit. Hang on, so I've got that. I'm trying to bestow the tale. Oh, so much admin. You can float a pause card around this.
It's fine, John. Don't worry.
Good dance instead.
Not that one. 12 and beyond. You can use an action to choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. This can be you to be the target of the tale's effects. Once you do so, you can't bestow the tale again. Now, to know if it's magic or not, that's your call is. But I'm going to tell this Illithid the story of an extremely beguiling lady called Lola.
Oh my god. Okay.
When you had lips like cherry cola. And if it could make a wisdom saving throw.
I would say this is considered a magical effect.
Okay.
But it does still get the advantage on that. But let's see. That would be a number, John. And that number is 14.
Oh, you failed.
Oh. It's on the custodian. It's on the custodian, isn't it? Yes.
On the custodian, yeah, that's the one close to me. So you take 4 psychic damage, and you're incapacitated until the end. The custodian's incapacitated until the end of their next turn.
Amazing.
Because they're just so caught up with thoughts of Lola.
Was that 4 points of damage, Lola?
4 psychic. I don't know if they're immune or resistant to psychic. Feels like that might happen.
I do not believe they are. I haven't got it written down, so they're not today. So that is cool, marvelous. Its head kind of twists as if it's feeling something in its brain which it's not used to doing, and then becomes unable to move, can speak only falteringly, I believe. Cannot take actions or reactions, so it just is incapacitated. Great.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to learn a new tale.
Oh, good.
And it's another 7.
Good to know. Good to know.
I could have one of those later.
You little tinker.
I'm a little bit back as well.
Okay.
Just like fun stuff there.
So, Heimlich, you're sort of 10 foot in front of the door. The custodian is 10 foot to your right. You've noticed that Dusk has appeared about sort of 40 foot away from you to the left. Is that where you would like to go towards?
Yeah, just like a little bit back to the left away from now to get a good perspective.
Got you. You kind of back up past Ember, and if that's your go, Heimlich, I will move over to Ember. Cool, Ember, you watch as Heimlich kind of sort of does a thing, the Mind Flayer kind of squints, and then it's over to you. What would you like to do?
So all these tentacly people talking about eating brains makes Ember think that maybe everyone staying conscious is probably quite a good thing. So I will move into the center of everyone. I don't mind if that takes me too close to an Illithid. It's more important to have everyone within a 30-foot radius, if at all possible. Hold on to my holy symbol, mutter a quick prayer that is just something along the lines of, oh dear.
Inspiring, I love it. Yes. Oh dear.
And channel divinity to get up my known and beloved Twilight Sanctuary. So as long as anyone ends, our allies, as long as they end their turn within the sphere, then they could get 1d6 plus 8 temporary hit points. So hopefully we'll keep people alive a bit longer.
Great. Do you want to roll that 1d6 plus 8 now, and then everyone knows what number it is that they get to add when they end their turn in your sphere?
What if I roll a 1?
I mean, it's something. It's better than nothing. It's still plus 8, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that was a 4.
Hey.
So 12 hit points, temporary hit points.
When you
every
end
turn.
your turn in the sphere.
Yes.
Got you.
And then as a bonus action, I don't know if I've ever actually got around to doing it yet. I will cast Spiritual Weapon, and I'm going to go big because I want to go home and cast it at 4th level.
Ooh, go on, tell us what that does.
That's real.
So mechanically, it gives me an extra D8 of damage every single time. Creatively, it's a flippin' beautiful spiritual weapon.
Is it just D8 at 4th level?
So it's an extra D8, I think, because you only bounce up every 2 levels for spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, damage increases by 1d8 for every 2 slot levels above 2nd.
Cool. So it does 2d8 in total, right? Is that where we're going?
2d8 plus 5.
Great, amazing. So just to confirm, a lot happened in that. We like it. It's good. Ember, you conjured, you channeled your divinity with what was your prayer?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. We summoned the power of Araleth with those famous words, oh dear. As you do that, the sphere emanates around you. You all know that if you end your turn in that sphere, you get those 12 hit points, temporary?
12 temp hit points.
Currently, all of you, apart from Dusk, who full on went out of town, are currently in that sphere, but Dusk, you would have to move 15 foot to your right to be able to get in it. Just so you all know. Cool, that's some good housekeeping there. Where are you putting your spiritual weapon?
So I would like it to be directly over the hang on. The custodian.
Yeah.
Is he incapacitated in a way that's like, don't do any damage? Or is beating him up fine?
You can beat him up, yeah.
Okay.
I will beat him up. Cool, over his head. And at 2nd level, which is how I've only ever done it before, it is a lovely, elegant evening star that has a sharp point hovering over the head. However, at 4th level, it's the first time Ember's tried this. I think she's got a bit loopy with all the bizarreness going on. It is one of her pamphlets, blown up and enormous, and on the front of the pamphlet is this epic, she thinks it's epic, drawing of Araleth destroying Lolth, and the weapon in Araleth's hand, the ray of light, shines out of the pamphlet into the face of the custodian.
Oh my god.
That's sick.
Oh my god, and that damage happens as the thing is summoned as well, doesn't it? So please roll that first.
Yes!
That was beautiful.
2d8 plus
Oh my god.
Thank you. That is a 6 to 5, that's 11 plus 5 is 16 points of damage.
16. Okay, cool. That is maths. Marvellous. Custodian is still standing, still incapacitated, still has the spiritual weapon above his noggin. Thank you, Ember. That was awesome. Are you staying where you are so that people are...
Yeah, I will maintain central so everyone can fit.
I'm going to use the word centrosity. I think that's apt for this situation. Moving on, we are going to move over to the Jester. The Jester's kind of involved in kind of protecting the king, but is also a bit hungry at this minute. Let's see. Let's see if it gets something back. It does not. The Jester's going to look at the biggest thing in the room, Varya, and it's going to mosey on up to you, I think. It is keen on staying with the king, but it likes its snacks.
All right. I'm a snack.
Going to try and hit you.
Okay.
That would be, in total, that would be 20 to hit, Varya.
It hits. I've got an AC of 15.
Okay. That's psychic damage of 16 points of psychic damage to you.
Okay.
You're considered medium, aren't you? Because you are...
I'm a log boy.
Are you large?
I believe I'm large. I'm an elephant.
Varya, because you're considered medium, it does grapple you, but could you make an intelligence saving throw, please, to see if you too will be stunned by this?
Yes, I can. And if it goes badly, I will use that inspiration that I never use. Let's do it. That was a D12. That's not helpful to anyone. That's a 17.
Oh, hey. You are not stunned. You're still grappled, but you are not stunned, which is good. It means it doesn't get advantage on its next attack, which is pretty gnarly. So you might want to get the heck out of dodge as soon as you can, if anyone can help you with that. So that is the Jester's go. That's all it can do. We move over to the Custodian, who currently is incapacitated until his next turn, right?
Yeah, so it's I think it's, the end of this turn.
Got
it's
you.
like a stunning strike.
So the Custodian will do nothing this turn. Lorcan, over to you. You are sort of near the Custodian and the Jester, and Varya, who's currently in the Jester's grasp.
Yeah. I think I would just take as many swipes as I can with Kato will take as many swipes as he can with Lance at the stunned Custodian.
Got you. Okay, cool.
Which, yes, attack and extra attack and 2-weapon fighting. Oh no, I can't do 2-weapon fighting with Lance, can I? Okay, so we'll just take the attack and extra attack with the Lance.
Got you. Okay, rough to hit.
Which
Rough to hit.
at advantage because
Correct, you are.
I'm mounted and he's stunned.
Yep.
God damn. So the first one is a 16.
Oh, that hits.
And the second one, that's a 24.
24 definitely hits.
Cool. So damage is going to be nice. 12, 17. Plus another 25 damage.
Oof. Is that for both hits or just one?
That's for both.
Amazing.
And as a bonus action, Kato is going to swipe his cloak, magical cloak, and sort of tumble off the side of Lorcan and hide. Okay.
Is that a bonus action to hide for Kato?
With my cloak of Nature's Mantle cloak, I can hide as a bonus action even when being directly observed.
Amazing. So is that, could you roll a stealth check then for me for Kato specifically?
Yeah.
Cool. And could you just remind me, G, as well, while you get a little minute, were you attacking the Jester just then? Or
no, that was the Custodian.
Custodian. Beautiful, thank you.
So yeah, stealth for Kato is that's only a 12.
12. Custodian is somewhat not very. He's not paying a lot of attention in this minute. Looking, he only makes it was a 10 on the modifier as well. So a 10 to see Kato, so does not see Kato disappear. We'll still see Lorcan then.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Does the Jester see Kato?
Yes. The Jester does, but the Custodian, not a clue.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for reminding me, G. That was
sorry.
great.
Sorry.
Yes.
Also, the Custodian was my favorite foe, so I get an extra d6 of damage.
Okay.
Oh no. That's another
So
3
good.
points of damage.
It went on the floor. Was that 3? Was that 3?
3, yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So for those who have eyes with which to see, you would see that the Custodian not looking too hot right now whatsoever. If they were a Pokemon, they would be making the be-doop, be-doop noise, if you get that reference. Thank you, Lorcan. Kato enshrouded within his cape. We're going to move over to Varya. Varya currently grappled, not stunned. So when
and grappled just means I can't move away. I can still attack.
Correct, I believe. Although that would make sense. You'd still be able to do something with your great axe. So go for it.
It's a great axe.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a great
I'm
axe.
still raging.
You are.
I'm just gonna hit him. That's all right.
Go for it.
Yeah, that's a 21.
Oh, 21 hits. So you are in the Jester's grasp, and you hit the Jester with your great axe.
Jester?
Yeah, the Jester got
it was the Jester. Yeah. So that's a 10.
10 points of damage to the Jester. Okay.
For my starter.
So that's for the first.
17 plus 7 is a number that's very high.
That is, and that will definitely hit. Do you want to roll your damage?
I would love that. It's 7 plus 4 plus 2. 11. Wait.
13?
9 plus. I think it's 13 points of damage.
That sounds right to me. 13 points of damage, yes. Cool. So you hit with Raytats twice. With it sort of around your face, you feel it sort of pulling your face down towards it, and as it does, you just hit it on the back twice with your great axe. Cool. Is that your go, Fire? You can't.
I'm grappled, so I can't.
Yeah, correct.
Really do anything else.
Well, we're going to move over just to the king, and I'm just going to roll something just for a minute, just to see what's happening, because there's been a bit of noise. So let's just see. The king is still sleeping. We will move over to Dusk, way over there on the left-hand side of the room. You're still not within Ember's sphere. The closest thing to you is probably the custodian, and that's quite a stretch. It's still quite arranged.
How far away is it?
It's about 80 foot away from you. Sorry, 60 foot away from you.
60 foot.
Yeah. You've got the king 60 foot still ahead of you. The custodian 60 foot away from you as well.
Okay. Am I still in dim light?
Correct. The whole thing is dim light. There's a bit of rose window, but that's it.
And is the custodian in the sphere?
Yes, the custodian is in the sphere near Amber.
In which case I will run 20 feet.
Okay.
Shadow step 60 feet. And punch the custodian with advantage.
Hey, go for it. Because you have your misty step, because of your shadow step.
Exactly.
Nice.
And that is... That's a 20 to hit?
Yes, that will hit Dusk. Please roll your damage.
Lovely. 7. And then for my second attack, on my attack action, I roll a natural 1. That's a 9.
You know what? Dusk. You didn't need that second attack. And I'll tell you why. That first attack ended the custodian. So as you're punching, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
The way I imagine it is that it's like a seamless, like running 20 feet and then just like, and then like as I come out of the shadow, punch in the face.
Nice. So yeah, that happens. The second one misses only by the fact that this thing collapsed in front of you and you just kind of swing at nothing for your second attack. But well done, that's the first down. The custodian, no more. It collapses to the ground in a puddle of googly eyes, and that's all you hear. That's the last you see of the custodian. Dusk,
DM, am I still grappled?
You're grappled by the jester, not the custodian. Yeah, so you are on fire. I'm sorry, you are still grappled. Jester. Thank you, Dusk. Do you want to do anything else on your turn, or are you good?
Yeah, no, my turn.
You're good. Cool. Heimlich, over to you. So Dusk has run past you. There's about 40, well, there was 40 foot between you and the custodian. There's 60 foot between you and the jester, who is the closest thing to you. And the king is 60 foot ahead of you as well.
And the jester has taken very little damage so far.
In the grand scheme of things, yes.
I'm just going to tell him that he reminds me of a plate of bad calamari that I ate some time ago, and it was disgusting, and so is he, and shoot a vicious mockery at him. So if you can make a wisdom saving throw 16, and I'm going to have my spirit board out and be tapping away on it. So he also hears horrible little voices from the spirit world in his head. I'm just going to boost that with a d6.
Okay.
If it
Understood. So in total, he rolled 15. Just 15.
That would not succeed. So that's 5 plus 3, 7, 10 points of psychic damage.
Nice.
Disadvantage on your next attack.
Good to know. I'm just going to write that down so I stay honest. Cool. So yeah, Heimlich, you utter these words. That is anything else you would like to do on your go?
I will use a bonus action to give Varia is quite in the middle of it and I think sadly Varia 10 minutes has passed since the jousting, so you don't have that inspiration anymore. But I give you a new one.
Yay!
Fortissimo, Varia, Fortissimo. You have bardic inspiration.
Thank you.
And I will move into Ember's beautiful dome.
Oh, you are there. Marvelous. Ember, does that dome just stay on up for a duration? No pressure.
I
Just
feel
wondering.
like it's a while.
I feel like it's
and
a while
channel
too. Is it a
divinity,
minute?
so it's not concentration. Yeah, 1 minute or until I'm incapacitated or die.
Cool. So that 12 re-tops, doesn't it, every time? It doesn't stack, but it re-tops back
Can't
up to
stack,
12.
but tops up every time.
Cool. Amazing. All right. So, speaking of Ember, if Heimlich, that's your go, we'll move over to you. You know that Varya's in a bit of a tricky spot. You've got your spiritual weapon near the Jester. What
I was
would you
going
like
to say,
to
it only moves 20 feet. How far away am I from the Jester?
do? It itself is not far away from the Jester because the Jester moved near to the Custodian. You
Amazing.
yourself, you're about 20 foot away from that scenario.
Oh, how unwell are people looking?
I might.
Brilliant. I will go aggressive then. First things first, I will bonus action move my spiritual weapon over, and this time the pamphlet starts beating the Jester around the head with its papery spectral pages.
Beautiful. All religion should be like this.
Do I have to roll to hit? Oh, I think
do.
last time I just hit. I don't know if I actually rolled. I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. We'll roll with that, but you would have to roll to hit using your. Well,
Yes, I have a
modifiers.
+9.
I don't know rules.
That's a natural 20.
Oh,
So
boy.
for a total of 29.
Sure. Yes. Roll your dice double.
So that's a 6 and a 7 on the first two dice, which is 13, and then a 6 and a 5 on the second two, which is 24, plus 5. 29 points damage is my bonus action.
Casual 29 damage on a bonus action. Carry on.
And then I will do some more damage because the Jester is, Varia took my handkerchief. I must now protect her. I think I would like to guiding bolt at. Actually, no, I'm going to be an idiot. I think I'd like to cast Inflict Wounds at 3rd level because that's touch and I want to distract it away from Varia.
I thought you were going to say because I want to touch it. And I was like, well, if that's what you want to do, you do that.
No, I think and I know, mechanically, I know that Varia is the tank and can take all the hits, but Ember doesn't like people getting hit.
Okay.
So I am going to fly up and tug one of the calamari and cast Inflict Wounds at
Come
3rd
on.
level,
Come on, hit.
which
I'm really
is another +9 to hit. I'll carry on using my blood red dice for combat. You're not going to believe this. It's another nat 20.
Yes.
This is the campaign of Nat 20s. Marvelous.
So that's 10d10.
That's so ironic. That is so ironic because next round, you know what would have happened? I would have had to roll 10d10 against Varia. So please, yes, in the words of someone very special to all of us, roll that dice.
Amazing. And in kindness for the audience, I will use my dice app. 10, that's 12, 10d10. That is 74 points of damage.
Oh, it's still alive. It's
Clerics are growing on me as a class, I'm not going to lie.
Okay, Ember, please could you tell us how this Jester diminishes?
Diminishes?
Well, how it ends, how it ceases to be.
Oh, is it dead? Good. I thought you said it's still alive. and
I was
panicked.
lying.
Good, because it would then have hit me and I didn't want that. I'm very small. I think, given that everything is weird and dreamy and surreal, if you're cool with it, I think she flies up, tugs one of the noodles, and then just keeps tugging, and it just and unspools until she's left with just a tube of illithid
Goop.
sausage.
And on that note of illithid sausage, the illithid is now no. I love D&D. This is why I play this game. Yes, good work, everyone. Those mind flayers are now no more. Varya, you're no longer grappled, therefore no longer stunned by the mind flayer. And as that happens, a single eyelid opens. But it's not its go yet. It's fine. It's just woken up. Everything is fine. However, you notice that massive stained glass window is beginning to fade out of existence, and the panes are beginning to crush to the ground. But we're still in initiative. Lorcan, you are roughly about 40 foot away from this awakening king who is hovering 5 foot off the ground. What would you like to do?
I want to, I guess, if I want to make an insight check, even if it's an action, is this thing about to try and attack us and eat us?
That's a very good question. Roll an insight check for me.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay, so the lid opens, Lorcan first to look with Kato. You see the eye kind of dart around the room. You then watch the lids kind of focus in on you. You see the evil apparent upon its mottled, horrid brain-like face. Yeah, definitely trying to kill you. I will say, for the purpose of this, you can still use one of your attacks if you wish. You don't have to. You can stay where you are. Absolutely, it's not a problem.
Yeah, I think whether it mechanically gives me any advantage or not, Lorcan would be kind of drawing its attention so that Kato can go in and attack it.
Cool. Okay. So is Kato still on your back, still doing it with the lance?
No. When he hit, he kind of toppled off my back. And...
Got you. But that's just after your turn, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, in that case, we'll move over to Kato.
Cool. So, yeah, he takes a swing at it with sword. That is a 15.
15 just hits.
Just hits.
Could I please ask, though, because the king is hovering above the ground and Kato's quite small, could we have some kind of athletics check to maybe get onto the throne to do this, or to jump to get at the king?
Sure.
Is that all right?
Yeah, athletics check.
Cool.
That's 11. Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so roll your damage, but halve it, because that wasn't a great swing. He kind of gets onto the chair and kind of his leg slips.
So that's only, after being halved, that is 4 damage.
4 damage, okay. King now very awake after this little Kato who's just rocked on up and slashed at him with his sword. Is Kato staying where he is?
Yeah, I think so.
Got you. Okay. Well, if that's Kato's go, we'll move on over to Varya. Varya, this has all happened. You've got a dead jester near you. You've also got a dead custodian near you. Roughly about 40 foot away from your current position is the king, and Kato slashing at it awkwardly. What would you like to do?
Well, I have 40 feet of movement. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to get up there and hit it.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I need to also roll athletics to see if I reach it?
That's a good point. Yeah, I would say you do, just because of mechanics. But go for it. But we like athletics.
But I have advantage on jumps.
Yes, so jump away, dearest warrior.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So
well, it's a nat 20 on the floor.
A nat 20. They just keep on happening. I love it. Yes, you. I mean, you can tell me how you jump with that nat 20.
I think Varya, it's almost like one of those amazing, you're taking a run up to it. She saw Dusk do it earlier and is like, this is a really great and cool idea and thing to do, and just takes a run, and it's almost like one foot goes on the seat bit of the throne, the next goes on the back of the throne, and with her axe in her trunk just leaps to bring it down on the beholder's eyeball.
Amazing. Okay, so roll your damage. We'll go for that twice because, hey, why not?
Yay. So that, damage. Not roll to hit. Is an 8 for the first one.
Wait, sorry, have you rolled to hit twice?
I rolled to hit once. That's a 16 plus 7. Does that
hit? Yes, it will.
Great.
Sorry.
And then the damage for that first one was 8.
Cool.
Do I double it? No, because it's not. Sorry, I'm confused. Yes. So then I need to roll to hit again.
Yes, please.
23.
Yes, that will definitely hit. Roll your damage again.
12 points of damage.
We like that. That's good. Okay, so these axe attacks come down on the central lid of this creature that kind of roars from behind these tentacles on its face. Cool, Vaya, you kind of land next to Kato by the throne. Cool. Okay, are you staying where you are?
I've used up all my movement, so yes.
Okay. All right, so let's see. It's the end of your turn. At the end of your turn, it will use a legendary action to teleport, and it's going to teleport to kind of between Dusk and the throne, so sort of in the middle of the left-hand side of the room, about 20 foot away from Vaya, about 20 foot away from Kato, and about 20 foot away from Dusk. It's now its go. It's going to, with its eye rays, choose 3 of you. Please may I have an intelligence saving throw from Vaya, from Dusk, and also from Ember. Okay.
Sorry, a which saving throw?
Intelligence, please.
Oh dear. That was a 4.
I'm using my inspiration. Mine was also a 4. Oh, that's much better. Okay, that's 17.
Okay, so Vaya and Dusk succeed. Ember does not succeed, and as a result...
Really? A 4 fails?
I mean, yeah. So, let's see. I'm counting out my dice now, and I'm very sorry, Ember. I do need to roll them, as is the law of D&D.
Nothing's hit me yet. How bad can it be?
I'm just going to do some maths, bear with.
Bad.
You could make the maths easier if you just took some of those dice away again.
It'd be shite.
This is
truly the most fearsome of heroes.
I've nicknamed one of my old friends Maths, and she loves it. That would be 36 points of damage to you, Ember.
Okay, that's
psychic
less scary
damage
than I thought. Oh no, I have less hit points than I thought. Okay, it's not ideal.
Your brain is just racked with images of the Mind Flayer colony. The last thing the king remembers being sort of torn apart by this creature in its former state. You're sort of reliving all the fears of the things, and it's bad. You suffer that damage there. That is the king's go. Vaya and Dusk, you succeeded on that. You take no damage as a result. We will move on over to Dusk. The king is 20 foot away from you, hovering 5 foot in the air. What would you like to do? You would have to, yes. Of course you can. This is fun. Do it. Sure, go for it.
Based on what I've seen of my friends so far, do I feel like it? So I'm going to have to do this kind of like jumping thing to hit it.
Oh, that hits. Yeah, roll your damage.
All right.
Is your second a bonus action? Just asking, because you've already used a bonus action to...
Can I shadow step again on top of the beholder? And then I'd like to appear and just like not double punch, but like kind of like punch as I'm like kind of falling down a little bit. First one with advantage. So
you, just to confirm, you hit once. Could you do your damage and then we'll do the con save?
So the first one is a 22.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Okay, let's roll that con save.
No.
Yeah, it does not actually.
As an action.
It's going to use...
So that's a 6 to hit, and because I hit...
It's going to use its legendary resistance, and it only gets a couple of these per day, but it's just going to choose to succeed on that.
That is a beholder thing. So I have to spend a key point, and they have to do a con save.
13 does miss. Perhaps you just get a bit confused with all of the eye stalks that are up in your grill right now.
Yes. Sorry, I'll apply some damage. I got 6.
You very much are. Cool, thank you. Dusk, I'm guessing you're staying where you are. Yep, amazing. Heimlich, what would you like to do? Please save us.
God, it's really tricky.
Can you turn it into something else?
All right, fair enough.
You're wearing it down. That's all I'm saying. You're wearing it down with all of its resistances.
I hit the second time.
It just chills out. We just chill it out for a bit. Though it would come back. We don't have.
Yeah, I very much
to
feel like I'm amongst the stalks.
I mean, make a perception check, everyone.
Oh.
Yep.
16.
Also 18.
15.
15.
You probably would all be able to see and convey this to each other. As the king moves away from the space where he was, that space itself is seeming to just vanish. The panes of glass that were kind of flickering in and out of existence before are crashing now to the ground. But as they crash to the ground, they just disappear to nothing. There is, I would guess, Kato and Vaya, you're right there, you're by the throne. You would see that you're now on a precipice and that throne is beginning to rock backwards. But on that note, Heimlich, what would you like to do on your turn?
Yeah, my gut is telling me that it needs to die. We can't just postpone it a bit. So I am going to try to cause some more damage. I'm going to run at it and start singing, "Ooby-doo, I want to be like you. I want to walk like you, talk like you, too-hoo-hoo," and turn into a giant egg.
Yes! Oh, that's beautiful. What does your giant ape look like?
So Heimlich has black hair, lots of silver and granite from all his distress, and a bit like John. And
Same.
They just turned into a massive silverback gorilla.
Amazing.
Classic King Kong.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll use the gorilla's 40 foot of movement to get into melee with the king.
You would be able to absolutely do that. The rest of you watch as Heimlich just kind of transforms from this quite skinny, lithe form into this hulking gorilla, which just kind of like stomps on up to the king. That's all you can do at the minute, isn't it, Heimlich? Yeah, cool. All right. Ember, what would you like to do? You're currently sort of towards the right-hand side of the room. The king is roughly 40 foot away from your current position. There's dusk on top of him, and Heimlich is now a gorilla. Welcome. What would you like to do?
So I think Rebecca, need to make an intelligence check. Your lovely description about things vanishing, does that imply that the king is from a different plane of existence?
Yeah, make an intelligence check for me. Go for it.
Is that going to be my whole turn?
No, it's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
Ooh, 19 on the dice, so 21.
21. The king is certainly impacting the area around him. Doesn't necessarily mean that the king is from a different plane. From what you saw from the windows that have now cascaded to the ground, the king was made here, by all accounts.
Cool.
Potentially from this area. However, is it possibly fatal to be within that darkness? Kind of.
Fatal for us or for the king?
You're not sure.
Cool. Well, I won't waste my final 4th level spell slot with banishment then. I have nothing that can push anyone in any particular direction. So first things first, my spiritual weapon, I will move it 20 feet towards the king. How far away is it now?
It's got another 20 foot to go.
Cool. It will flap there, looking like it wants to convert lots of people.
It flaps menacingly.
And then I will... No one's looking too poorly still, I believe. So let's save some 3rd level spell slots in case someone dies. And let's whack out Guiding Bolt at 2nd level.
Go for it. Roll to hit.
Is that all? Oh yeah, I have to do that before I can start rolling damage.
Yeah.
That is 17.
17 hits. Roll your damage.
Great, so that's 5d6 because it's
D6.
2nd level.
And whoever gets the next attack gets advantage because the king is now
it's a cool spell.
Shrouded in golden and kind of teal light at this point.
What did I just say? I said 5d6.
Sorry, yes.
No. I was too busy enjoying everything. That's 5 and a 4 and a 4, which is 9, 13. And then a 3 and a 5 16, 21. Do I add anything? No, that is 21 points of damage.
21 points of damage. Okay.
And for movement, I will just move whatever it takes to make sure I am still the central point of the party, so as many people as possible can get the temporary. Oh, and I'll give myself the temporary hit points because I took damage.
So Ember's kind of central around this space. You kind of stay there. Kato and Vi are just on the cusp of that. You'd need to be 5 foot to get within. Everyone else, you're good. Cool, Ember, is that your go?
Yes.
Marvellous. Lorcan and Kato. Kato's kind of far away from you at the minute, Lorcan. What's the plan?
How far away from me is he?
Is Kato? Kato's about 40 foot away from you.
Okay. And how far away is the beholder?
The king is about 30 foot away from you to your left.
Okay. Well, so with Kato's movement and my 40 foot, can I get Kato? Can I meet up with Kato and get him on my back and then get to the king?
You can definitely meet in the middle. I would say, sure, yes, you would certainly be able to do that.
With my extra 10 feet of reach because of the lance as well.
Totally, sure, do it. I mean, you've got your mounted combatant thing, which helps with the movement of getting on top of stuff. So yeah, go for it. Please do roll some damage, please.
So it's a kind of dramatic sweep as Lorcan runs in an arc and Kato runs over and just kind of leaps on.
Nice.
Out with the lance.
And in with the knee.
And is going to do ensnaring strike again as bonus action first.
Great.
And then take 2 attacks. So do I get advantage still, or is the king too big for the mounted combatant advantage?
I think that still stands. It's just if you're a mounted combatant, you get advantage because you have that feat. So yes.
All right.
I'm going to say go for it.
Cool. So the first attack, that's a pretty good start, is a 22. 22.
That'll hit, yep.
To hit. Second attack is 19 to hit.
That'll hit too, so roll your damage twice, please.
Cool. And for it's a strength save for the ensnaring strike.
Thank you for reminding me. It failed, but it's going to use its legendary resistance to choose to succeed that.
Right.
However, it's certainly run out of some of those. Carry on. Roll your damage. Tell me what you get.
Okay then. So that's 6. So that's 19 points of damage for the 2 attacks.
Awesome. Okay. Yes, this king, this warped beholder, this mind witness beholder elder brain creature suffers that damage as Kato on Lorcan just attacks twice with the lance. Dusk, you kind of you hold on to the eye stalks, I imagine, as it kind of tries to move out of the way but fails. Still hovering, still flying, but you did a good whack of damage there, Lorcan. Thank you. Guessing you're staying where you are right now.
I think he
Sorry.
I think he burst some of the eyes on the stalks.
Sure. Visually that makes sense, but mechanically it does not. But sure. Some of those eyes certainly looking rather pink in this moment in time. Thank you, Lorcan, for that. You don't have any more movement, so we will move on over to the one and only Varya.
Hello.
Hello.
I'd like to hit it, please.
Cool. So you're currently standing upon a precipice near the throne. You would have to move roughly 20 foot to get there, but you can certainly do that.
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay.
So I will do that. I'll move the movement and then hit the lad.
Move the movement and hit the lad. Yes, do it.
Do it. I've been just rolling 16s all ding dong day. So,
Hey, well, that'll still hit.
well, that's just what's on the dice. So brilliant. Okay, so that was my first hit, and the number of points for that is at 17 damage
Nice.
for the first one.
Yes, go on.
And then for the second one, let's see if I do it again.
Okie dokie.
Oh, 19.
19 points of damage.
No, but to hit the second one.
Oh, yes, they'll hit, definitely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that's 10 points of damage for my next one.
Okay. Between you, you see Vaya just gouge into this creature. Dusk hanging on for dear life onto the eye stalks, which are looking a little pink at this moment in time. So we will. You see that it's not looking that healthy. It's still with us, but it's not looking great. Vaya, is that your go?
Sure is.
Okay. We are going to move on over to the king. Now, the king is going to do some melee, I think.
Sick.
It's going to try and tentacle Vaya.
Okay.
And then it's going to try and bite you, I think.
Okay.
I was going to dice on the floor, if you're wondering. I was going to see if we could do something with Dusk, but I think Vaya, you've annoyed it. So to hit, that would be 17.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay, that would be some damage. Let me get my dice.
What kind of damage?
Psychic damage.
Ah, fair enough.
That's 10 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Fine.
You are considered grappled, and can you make an intelligence saving throw for me, please?
I can.
It's like
Deja vu all over again.
exactly
6.
6. Oh no, you are considered grappled and stunned. It's then going to try and bite you with advantage because you are currently stunned.
Mm-hmm.
In total, 20 to hit.
I mean, it hits.
You suffer piercing damage.
No, I
So
don't.
you know, you suffer some, but not all.
Yeah.
That is 15 points plus some, 16 points of damage in total.
So that's 8.
Correct.
Great. So that's really, with that lovely temp HP, that means it's only actually done me 6 damage, which I don't hate.
So that tentacle wraps around your trunk initially and then pulls you in for a bite. You're still considered stunned and grappled. That is the king's go. Dusk, what are you doing?
I think I'm going to pick one of the tentacles near me and just punch it a whole heap of times.
Hey, why not? Go for it.
So I'll do 2 attacks as part of my action. To begin with, so first is an 18 to hit.
18 hits, yes. Roll your damage.
Okay.
Or
I'll roll
roll your other
damage.
hits, whatever you like.
So that's 10 points of damage.
Nice.
And okay, let's get this ball rolling. I will try and stunning strike.
Okay.
So that's so 10 points of damage on the first one, and then try and stunning strike. So that's a con save of 11.
11. It's not considered a magical effect, is it? No. I wouldn't say it is.
No,
it's not a
I don't
magical
think so.
thing. It's just
No.
you've punched super hard.
no look
That
at that.
in total is a 7. So the king is
Okay.
now considered stunned. And can you tell me how long that stun lasts, please?
The stun of stunning strike lasts will be stunned until the end of your next turn.
Until the end of your next turn. Cool. Marvelous.
As someone who does stunning strike a lot,
Uh-huh.
Pav doesn't know this, but Dust must know this. Can I still hit and it's fine? As in, it doesn't stop the stun?
Yeah, that's fine. Just stunned, they're incapacitated, means they can't take actions or reactions, they can't move or speak, or they speak falteringly. They auto fail strength and dex saving throws, and attack rolls against the creature have advantage. I don't know if that's melee attack or not, but I'm going to say any attack from this point onwards until the end of Dust's turn has advantage.
Wonderful. Well, I will roll my next attack with advantage then, and that is not great. That's a 17.
Oh, that hits still.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Then
It's
that
a big
is
ass
another
creature.
great. Another 10 points of damage.
Amazing.
And then, because why not, I will flurry of blows, and then that means I get 2 more attacks at advantage.
Is that like all your key points?
I've got quite a lot left.
Amazing.
It's like half.
Okay.
That is a 26 to hit.
Oh, that'll definitely hit, yeah.
And then that's 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then the last one
Go on.
is a 15.
15. To hit?
Yes.
Just hits.
And then that is 11 points of damage.
That's a lot of maths, Dusk.
That's all right.
Slash
Man,
Pav.
I'm so
It's a lot of
excited for my next maths character. Yeah, there's a lot of maths. I apologize.
It's all right. I'm just going to do some counting. Sorry. Cool. All right. That was a fair heft of damage from such a little person. That was awesome. King is still standing, but is very stunned. Dusk, is that your go?
Yep.
Cool. Heimlich, over to you.
So it's not standing floating.
Took me a while then. I was like, John. It is floating 5 foot in the air, yes.
So giant gorilla, Heimlich, huge beast.
Would be able to reach. Yep.
Apparently. Is going to move behind it because I think Barry's in front.
Good plan.
I was just going to get his hands either side of the beholder, pull them back and clap twice.
Okay. Gorilla clap, go for it.
Which is with advantage.
It is, yep. It's currently stunned, so any attacks from this point until Dusk's next turn is done at advantage.
I think it's the actual physical dice, that'll probably be quicker. So the first one was a 1, so that wasn't great. Second was a 24.
That'll hit. Uh-huh. Yes.
Thank you for advantage, Dusk.
You're welcome.
And that's 3d10 plus 6.
Is that just one hit?
Yeah, that's the first clap. So
That's the clap.
6,
What a game.
7, 14 plus 6, so it's 20 bludgeoning.
Yep, that's some damage. Roll your next attack.
That's 19 or 23.
Yes, both of which would hit, so go for that 23. Roll your damage.
4 plus 10, 14 plus 4 plus 6. 24 clap damage. Ooh.
Heimlich.
Like Varia, he has ended up one of nature's percussionists.
Heimlich / Gorilla Lick. We'll go with it. Can you tell us how this king is clapped to death, please?
Just a really big, messy explosion, I think. Of just as the first clap, he maybe like squeezes in a bit, and the eyes go a bit. And then the second one, it's just everywhere.
Beautiful! You are all covered in king. How lovely! So in that final clap, I love the word clap. In that final clap, past the clap, you notice that precipice is becoming bigger. You are all very, very safe in this moment in time, sort of. However, the walls around you are beginning to flicker in and out of existence, and it's happening more erratically, especially now that the king is no more. The wall where the door was all but disappears, and you see the long corridor that was there before as falling away. The throne itself has fallen off the side of the precipice. That darkness is coming towards you. All of you in this moment, including Heimlich the gorilla, what are you doing?
I mean, I'm still stunned.
Oh, you are not stunned anymore.
I think we should go before this place stops existing.
I agree. It sounds like you're starting to stop existing.
Just to confirm, because time would pass, you're fine. You're not stunned anymore. Don't worry, you're okay.
Or even if you weren't,
not
for
grappled
once,
anymore.
I will pick you up.
Oh.
Carry everyone out.
I have advantage on athletics, so I'm going to leg it.
Okay, so far you're not carried by Heimlich.
Unless Heimlich feels particularly moved.
I'll probably slip back to my usual self because it feels like I might need a bit more intelligence. And and just start prestidigitating it off my hands. Oh, it's so messy.
So as Heimlich deals with that situation, you all begin to run. You see on the walls glimpses of spiraling tentacle patterns etched into the remaining material walls that do exist. You continue running, you're past the main door, the gardens, before your eyes are beginning to fade away. You get through the gardens, the grass beginning to fade at your feet as you run. There's quite a commotion. The acoustics aren't as they were before. It sounds like you're in a smaller enclosed space, not an open world like you were before. There's a dank aroma now, and it's engulfing you. It's no longer the fresh breeze. You do not smell the flowers. It is gross. You see where the peacocks were. They still stand. However, their tail feathers flash out of existence. The googly eyes drop to the floor and flash out of existence. You see before you monstrous cockatrices, still hooded, not aware of you really. They're kind of all fluttering about, but they're kind of gross. You continue forwards to the bridge, past these weird little peacockatrices, if you will. Reaching the bridge, you see the nice night inn on the other side. You continue running. A huge crash resounds, and you see Agatha Mantlebrim wielding a flaming sword as she Spartan kicks a raging ogre who's wearing that pinafore from before through the door. She impales the ogre. You then see about 60 foot away from you to your right, near where the bakery was, 3 blue figures creeping slowly but menacingly towards the prone and cowering figure of Terry Greatshoe, who apparently has disposed of his codpiece. You're about 60 foot away at this point. Is there anything you would like to do as he's crying out to anybody?
Yeah, absolutely.
I do want to help with this, but I also want to look around and find, where are the lads?
Oh, the lads. I was going to get onto that. There are various villagers. No, it's cool. Good shout. There are various villagers who are now in full-on combat with each other. There are bugbears fighting the lads. The lads are now like grizzly mouthed and like now wielding their daggers in their teeth and like scratching at things. The lads are now not very full of song. But snapping back to Terry Greatshoe, what would you all like to do to just save him in this moment?
I have a throwing axe. So I'm going to try and just clear a path for Terry to come join us.
Okay.
I'll throw a third level shatter at the blue lady. Just.
Yep. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think Kato would take a hand crossbow and try and fire a couple of shots.
Ember or Dusk, anything?
I'm going to be an idiot and fly towards all the warring villages.
Okay, cool. We'll get back to you, Ember, in just a minute, but the rest of you, could you roll your damage? Dusk, are you wanting to do any attack or anything?
No, I might follow Ember.
Got you, all right.
It's a 12.
Okay.
Sorry, did you say roll damage or
your
roll
attack,
attack?
Please.
That's a 24.
Yep.
And could I get 3 con saves from
Yeah, sure. 6.
So 19 damage, thunder damage.
Got you. And the damage for everyone else?
Does a 12 hit?
Oh, sorry, Varia. No, the 12 does not, but G.
The damage is 6.
Okay, so there's things flying towards these creatures. You notice that Ember and Dusk have taken a turn towards a load of there's about 50 or so villagers that are all in combat with each other. They raise their heads towards Dusk and Ember. However, as you fire these things towards the apparent sea hags that are attacking Terry Greatshoe, who's currently terrifying, Agatha, finished with the ogre, kind of charges up with the flaming sword, slices them one by one, relieving them of all of their heads. Terry Greatshoe, now no longer frightened, you approach. Ember and Dusk, you notice that the others have not followed you, and there are about 50, 60 villagers looking at you menacingly at this point. They're starting to draw on you. What are you doing?
I might suggest to Dusk, maybe hide. I'm not very good at this. It's probably going to be a disaster, but I have to try. And I would like to fly up 50 feet out of a 30-foot range of things.
Yep.
And then cast light from my holy symbol just around, so everyone notices me and I look vaguely homely.
Okay.
Homely? Holy. Probably also homely. I've been covered in king goo.
We'll go with both. You
Holy
look fabulous.
specifically.
Yeah.
And then just kind of go, we've all been trapped here and are compatriots in misery and our newfound freedom. We could turn on each other, but that would just be giving our foul, illithid dreamweavers what they want. Surely the best way to get revenge is to depart from here peacefully and go home to your loved ones and your friends and family.
Could you roll a persuasion check for me? With disadvantage, please. I don't have 50 d20s, but...
My persuasion is a -1 because my charisma is very low. However, that is a 19 and an 18 on the two dice. So 17.
Cool, so
disadvantage.
Some of them are like, yeah, I totally get what you're on about. And as they do that, the rest of them take that moment to like fully attack them and dismember them. Ember, what are you doing? It worked briefly, perhaps not in the way that you wanted.
I am displeased by this, but I don't have anything that will... Weirdly, my lawful good cleric doesn't have anything that can instantly wound a large number of people at once. So I think what I will do is hold my holy symbol and whisper to Arileth, I tried, and then turn and book it back to the party.
You did very well. As you do that, all of you, you kind of meet up with Terry and Agatha, and you notice that the tree where Yonsef was is beginning to sort of fade from the trunk upwards, and the branches begin to vanish, and each of the leaves fall, but then vanish as they hit the ground. But in its place, you see a set of steps leading away. And behind you, Ember, as you fly away, you notice the village has completely disappeared. You are not in Fineville anymore, but instead a dark, cavernous space of the Undermountain, lit only by far-off torches. There is still the cacophony of fighting going on behind you, probably a couple more bodies added to the pile, but it's fine. Agatha cries to you all, this way, quickly, as she ascends the stairs. Do you follow?
Can I pick up the body of Yonsef, please?
You can do. Heimlich, you hear in your ear, you can just leave me. But that happens anyway via you. You do pick up the body of Yonsef. Agatha kind of looks back at you and smiles and kind of nods in a thankful gesture. Yes. Agatha and Terry, now their former selves, they lead you through various levels of the Undermountain, and you're chased in parts by various denizens. You pass decaying temples, you pass mud-filled caverns, dwarven ruins, and ascend. And you find yourself knowing that you are just below the yawning portal. You come out in these familiar halls that you've all been in before, the ones where you made your names, and you reach that room with the half-barrel bucket. The walls now returned to their formal states. Between you, roughly, because someone's got some slippers that would be very helpful in this instance, you're able to ascend up. You reach the tap room of the tavern between you to silence. Then there's a huge cheer from the patrons as you all, one by one, arrive in this place. Dernan kind of like jumps over the... he just jumps over the bar, congratulates you all, buying you all multiple rounds of however many drinks you require. Well done, guys. You got through the halls of the Undermountain King. Well done. After much revelry, and after talking amongst each other about what has happened, obviously Yonsef is taken to where he should be going. I'm assuming, Ember, you kind of lead those sort of proceedings in a sort of spiritual way with Agatha. You return to your beautiful house in the beautiful part of the city. Eventually. You end up in your rooms, which are unadulterated by the mind of a monster, which is nice. And you drift into a super easy sleep. And it is not plagued by dreams. And you rest properly. And the following morning, you awake. And your rooms are the same, which is good. But there is a rumble. A rumble rippling through the seaward. You will rush to the side of the house that the sun doesn't hit. The side that sees the morning shade, and through the windows, you see a huge column of billowing purple and black energy coming from the Zulper concert hall. A shockwave erupts as from this the windows in all the houses shatter, coming closer and closer to your house. You try to evade the splintering glass and wood. A moment passes. You look outside and the morning sky is consumed by darkness. And that is where we will end our tale.
Awesome. I would like to retire to our summer house, not in Waterdeep.
Someone else can handle this one.
Yeah, I'm done. Larkin's done with the Waterdeep.
The sabbatical sucks.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and being part of the monstrous finale that was tonight's show. If you enjoyed tonight, thank you so much for watching. The next Tuesday that replaces this, the next Tuesday's show, will be the return of Warriors of Waterdeep, the Dragon of Harbour Shield Mountain. There's a theme of mountains. I love it. That will be every Tuesday from 6 p.m. UK, 10 a.m. Pacific. We also play Flustered in the Feywild on Mondays, also from 6 p.m., 10 a.m. Pacific. It is hilarious, DM'd by Emma. It's an absolute blast, worth checking out. We're near the end now, so go back to the beginning, watch it all from the beginning, do it. Same time Saturdays, we've got Talk Together, our chat show, where we interview our players, DMs, and other TTRPG industry voices. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows available everywhere. Just search for Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you as well to our D20 Club on Patreon. There will be a link in chat now. Do join them. Every penny helps us make all the content that we do. Big thank you to our sponsors Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, Elderwood Academy, and our supporters D&D Beyond, Idle Champions, and the Forgotten Realms, Warriors of Waterdeep, and Level Up Dice. And don't forget, we are all over social media as Roll Together RPG. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.